Be interesting to see how these teams do come out and see how they will be playing tonight on the zones, the Reef.
Right off the bat, we do see
Okay. Currently, we are seeing the junior from the side of Nova's servants right now. They were able to take control of the opposing team's zone, which was able to get them control. But it looks like will be able to take back their zone, possibly taking back the opposing team's zone, which they will. But that also does not get too far as they only get down to 99. So right now we are seeing 3 on the we have active 3 and 4 coming out right now. So looks pretty equal right now, and it is really just a battlefield for who will take the zone first.
in the first minute or so of a Splatoon match, it's usually just a tug of war back and forth for mid, because the timers in Splat Zones tick down so quickly that even if you do manage to get an early lead of 10, maybe 20 points, that can easily be overwritten later on in the game. You just have to play well and lock your opponents out.
Yeah, personally, like how I love to see it, you know, it's just like, it's Splatoon in general. This game is chaotic, anything can happen. Like, for all you know, you could have, like 1 point away from knockout on all modes, but then all of a sudden, the other team's like, no, we're gonna take back, and they knock it out, and steal that win from you. So really, anything is up for grabs here. You don't know what's gonna be happening until there's like a few seconds left, you know, like, you can never really make, for sure, like, okay, yeah, that's game. Early on in the match, so, yeah. Like, right now, we only see about 20 on the counter, you know, about 20 counter difference, so, you know, right now, anything's up for grabs goes, there is only about 3-ish, 2-ish minutes left on the clock.
Definitely, the phrase, it's not over until it's over, I found that rings so true in Splatoon especially, because like you said, there is still a possibility for a knockout even if a team gets to just 1 remaining on the counter. But already, as we've been talking, we have Nova's servants pushing all the way down to 20, and they have pretty much locked out Crustacean Crusaders, who are using their Booyah and other ranged specials to try and get back into the zone and take control. And here's exactly what you said. All the way down to 6. Nova servants got all the way down to 6, but Crustacean Crusaders were able to cap and take back that zone. So now the game is going to continue, and with that hefty 68-point penalty, it could still go to either team. We do have about 2 minutes remaining, so that's plenty of time for the match to go either way.
And I would like to remind everyone that we are seeing a penalty counter on both teams. So, meaning right now that Crustacean Crusaders do have enough time to, get position and, trying to get in there, but yeah, it's not really that comfortable, especially playing in the Splat Zone. But speaking of which, that is very tough for them right now, as we do see Nova servants able to just push up and, keep on pushing up. We are seeing about 4 and 3 up, and oh, never mind, I can't really say anything anymore. It's just like everyone is just, coming in and out, right now it's just a battlefield all over the place, ooh, it's kind of concerning to see both teams, just going at it.
Yeah, sometimes you really just do see that sort of deathmatch where people are going down left and right, especially with zones, as it is a static objective. So once you have control of those zones, you're free to push up where you want to be. And we see this Explosher here taking control of the bridge and then jumping down to use their chip damage. I like how they're assisting their teammates with that, and they have that baller at the ready, so if they get too far up or they are threatened, they can just pop that and baller away.
And not to mention, how they are right now, they are positioned on the mid of Reef, which is a bridge, being that, if they try to take back one of their zones, they can just pop out a baller, no, we're going to keep this zone, and, keep it contested.
Yeah. Just see, exactly what you said right there. They just topped down, they denied the cap of the zone, and you can see they've worked on their penalty pretty much off now, so they are going, it looks like they're going to have the knockout, and yes, that is the game. They managed to just chip through that penalty, hold the zone for long enough, and they just knocked it out, coming down all the way from that 68-point penalty.
Yeah, so they were able to, get through their penalty, as you were saying, and if I'm being honest, I was like, that was sorry, I cannot speak. Say that right. They were just able to keep on trying to push in, and then they did not give up, which is exactly the kind of mindset that you need in Splatoon, because you gotta just keep on pushing up. You gotta keep on going for it, because again, like we were saying through most of that match, it's not over until it's over, especially in Splatoon. And we will be seeing that in a few minutes, as we will be moving on to tower control and plot.
Yeah, definitely. Although modes like tower and zones lend themselves to lockouts, because, if you can't reach mid, you can't reach objective, and if you can't reach objective, the other team is going to knock out. You still need to be pushing in, trying to look for picks, because all it takes is one slip up, one lucky snipe, or one bomb pick for you to break out with specials and subs, and perhaps even take back the game, so you can't give up. But now we are moving into our second match, Tower Control and Inkling Art Academy. Do you have any thoughts on this map and mode specifically?
I personally like it. I think it's a great mode, but I will say, on Inkling in general, it is very easy to get locked out by the other team if you're not playing your cards right. If you're just going in one by one and you're just feeding to the other team, nothing's really gonna happen. So you gotta coordinate, especially on Inkling, because the other team has access straight to your base whenever, or literally your spawn pad where you respawn. They have access to that, and you only have that tiny space where you're allowed to breathe and not die. So yeah, just on Inkling, it's really who's gonna push up first, because really, one of the big things for Inkling is that, it's kind of easy to just, get up, and once you're up, and you're, watching all over the place, then it's hard to get back out.
Yeah, definitely. We see a couple of comp changes here. I do like the heavy Splatling remix on the side of Crustacean Crusaders. Booyah can just, if you throw it at the tower, it basically forces the people on the tower to either move or die. So, as a Remix player myself, I like having that option if you need to stop a cheeky overtime push or something of the sort. And then on the other side of Nova's Servants, we see the Splatter Scope, which is kind of, like, the same rules as Splatling, but it also has the Stingray, so it's a little bit different. I want to see how that plays out for both the teams.
I especially want to see the scoping, stuff, tower control is the scope's mode. Like, basically for scope, I mean, I'm probably making it seem easy whenever it's hard because I do not play scope, so if I'm offending anyone, I'm sorry. But it looks like for a tower, at least whenever I horribly play the scope, it's pretty easy to get fixed on the tower because, like, it's not that big of an area, you just, like, shoot, and if they're in the wrong place, they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they die, so...
While we've been talking, here is pretty much exactly the lockout that you were talking about. Crustacean Crusaders were able to take the enemy plat, they were able to push all the way down to 24, so almost touching the third checkpoint, which is huge. We're not even a minute and 30 seconds into the game. That's quite a commanding lead. Even though the scope, as you were talking about, pulled out the Stingray to try and stop the push, their Stingray was cancelled by a very well-placed Inkjet. So that just enabled them to keep their push alive instead of just dying to the Stingray. Very impressive opening by Crustacean Crusaders there. We'll see if they are able to defend it for this remaining 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yes, we do see the team from the side of Nova Service decide to get on tower, and they are chipping down at the process that they need to eventually get to the lead. But it looks like they will have to get off and push back, as there is only one alive on the side of Nova Servants, meaning that Crustacean Crusaders just need to push up and get their positions as they were before.
Yeah, and the thing is, with a lead as commanding as 24, every second that you can stall out the enemy team counts, because here we have the Splatling, the Remix, Tower Dancing, and although they were taken down, that is valuable time that Nova's Servants could have been using to build a push. Right now, Crustacean Crusaders seem to just be stalling them out for their time, not letting them really put together any sort of a push.
Yeah, I mean, no turns out there, like, okay, yeah, we know what to do now. So they just, they were able to push them out. I believe they didn't even really get past to where the second checkpoint would be, so, that was really well done with them. But right now, we do see a pretty clean pick from the side of Nova Servants with the L3. So, we are seeing right now that they are going to be trying to push out. They are knocking out, or trying to knock out that checkpoint right there. We only have a few times left that they do take the checkpoint. There is downside of Crusaders, meaning that right now there is a pretty good chance for Nova Servants right now, which is really just emphasizing the thought of it's not over till it's over, because it really is not in this game.
Look at how yellow all of that area is, and like you said, I cannot remember names, Nova Servants, and they do take the lead. They are taking full advantage of that access to spawn, that higher overlook that they are afforded by this stage. If you saw by the overhead view, that entire, their overlook was all yellow, all controlled by Nova's Servants, and Crustacean Crusader was struggling to get back in and take control of the tower. And now they do have the tower, but with less than a minute left and they are down by 3 points, 21 to 24, they are really looking for this push in order to take back the lead and take back the game that they thought was theirs.
Yes, they really are. I mean, you can't really think of it, because, like, right now there is downside of Nova Serpents. Sorry about that. But yeah, we actually will be seeing a Ray being pulled out this early before in overtime would be pulled out, which is honestly quite surprising, considering that a lot of people like to save the Ray until the last second, to get that GG Ray, as we like to call it in. But yeah, everyone's out on the field right now, meaning that right now mid is going to be a battlefield for who's going to take the tower. We do see one down on the side of Nova Servants, though. They do take the tower, one down, meaning that right now things are looking too hot. There is only one. That is a wipe, and that will be game. Oh, okay. That escalated pretty quickly with I believe they got a double or at least 2 kills pretty quickly. But yeah, that was a pretty just a wild game. Just see all happen at once. You know, you just saw your life flash beyond your eyes up there. If I saw that right, but flash before your eyes. There we go.
Yep. Yeah, with overtime pushes, because you're not given that time to set up. It's a last ditch effort thing, I suppose. You know, you've got to get your stuff together and you've got to go now. So those types of pushes are usually very scrappy. And with the decision of the Charger to pull out their Ray beforehand, as a CJet player, I am very well versed in GG Rays myself. But I do understand their decision to pull it out that early, because that Ray kind of prevented some sort of very close overtime game, because it stopped their push and forced the tower to reset back to mid, whereas if they had held on to it, Crustacean Crusaders might have been able to push up further, and then overtime may have been a lot closer. So it's kind of, it's more of a spur-of-the-moment decision, you know, what activation, what decision with holding or activating this special can I make so that it is best for my team in the long run.
You do bring up some good points there. I mean, I didn't really think of that at the time. Like, you know, I mean, given you are still like, you know, a team player, you gotta still like, you know, worry about that. But like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But like, moving on into the next game, I believe we are in a playoff 3 currently, which means we will be seeing Hamlet's on Humpback. So going into this third game, the third and final game, do you think we will? What do you think we'll be seeing?
Well, Humpback Pump Track, because of how curvy it is, it lends itself to fall-off weapons that don't necessarily need line of sight to kill their enemies, such as sloshers and rollers. And possibly blasters too. Because I don't really know the weapon pools of any of the players on either team, I can't really make any predictions as to what will be brought out, but I do hope to see a slosher or two.
Yes, I would be nice to see, but currently we'll be seeing. I think it's a VJet we will be seeing, and a Deco heavy, which is very surprising. I mean, we don't see those picks being brought out that much. It's gonna be because they're gonna make this game 3 really surprising and interesting of what we're gonna be seeing right now. And I would like to mention right now we will be able to see some sloshers, because I believe there is a tryout on the Crustacean Crusaders, and then we have a soda coming out from Nova Servant. So we will be able to see some quite interesting picks, which will make this game even better. And then we have sodas on top of that. So
yeah, definitely. I can understand the logic behind the pick of Heavy Deco, because it has both wall and bubbles, which can shield you from damage, and the bubbles are used rather commonly in clams for shields to throw so that you can throw clams in without taking damage. So yeah, right now, as you can see, you just get control of this area underneath the basket. Unfortunately, it looks like the bubbles are rather shredded by Nova's servants, so they can't really capitalize off of those bubbles as much as they would have liked to, but that's the kind of bubble play that I'm talking about with clamlets. I've won games because I've just put bubbles underneath the basket and then thrown clams in.
yes, the bubbles are a really important part of clamlets, if you ask me, because that's like you know, you got something like a baller where you just like, you know, you're invincible for a few seconds, well, quote unquote invincible, and or it at least adds to your HP, you know, but like you get it in, you get your person with ball, you jump in, you get a clam in, yeah, that's it. But like with bubbles, you know, you get bubbles in, you go inside the bubbles, they got shred the bubbles to try and get you, and you're like throwing clams in there. So bubbles is a really important part. But talking about pushes, we will be seeing Nova's servants being able to get one in. That will be the end of the push, though. So looks like Crustacean Crusaders will have to get back in the mid, and if not, that's just more room for Nova to get a push coming back in.
Yeah, considering how fast Clam Blitz pushes can be shut down, 4-4 is quite a good lead for a first half of the game push, especially when your opponents don't have any points on the board at all. So this just sets the bar rather high for Crustacean Crusaders to be able to push in, because Clam Blitz, the size of the pushes that can win games varies greatly from game to game. So if you get a push of this caliber where you're already more than halfway close to a knockout, you just make it that much harder for your opponents to take the lead.
Yes, and speaking about trying to get pushes and stuff. Okay, never mind. Let me go off that. But yeah, it looks like we will be seeing Soren getting taken out by a bomb from I believe that was Power, if I'm seeing that right. But yeah, the junior in general, they will be able to pop out armor, meaning that they may be able to get a clam. And it is a 2v2 right now on the field. So and they did pop bubbles, which means it is hard. And right now they aren't really doing too on the side of on paint, so it will be hard for them to push up with no paint, because that is really what Splatoon is whenever you pull it down to it. Whenever you pull it out to the old,
Yeah, great defense on the side of Crustacean Crusaders here, preventing a push that had 2 power clams and now able to get in 2 power clams of their own, already getting down to 45, so they need just 1 more clam to take the lead, and take the lead they do by 2 clams, so 39, and we see this Deco Heavy coming out with bubbles, coming out for more clams. And they get in another power, which takes their timer all the way down to 7. Again, it is not over until it is over. Now we are sub 1 minute, and they are 1 point away from the knockout, but with only the Tri-Slosher remaining on the field, it looks like this push is going to be shut down here. So Crustacean Crusaders now have to defend for 36 seconds and whatever is left of overtime and prevent Nova's servants from knocking out this game, pretty much.
Yes, because as I was saying before, you have to knock it out, and right now, this is their push, and they have to get this off, and if they don't, that will be game. So, we only do have a few seconds left. It looks like they are knocking down that counter, though. They do have a few clams that they will be getting in very soon. 8-2, and they do take it out. They do knock it out, and that will be game, meaning that Nova Servants will be taking out the game 3-0 in our first round of SOS 20.
Wow, but even that 3-0 does not tell this whole story of those games, because a push all the way down from 1, if I remember correctly, was it 100 to 1 on the side of Crustacean Crusaders? 100 to 1. That is quite an impressive push in itself. 99 points. When you're able to extend your push that much, so that you can get that many clams in at once, that's very impressive aggression on your side. And the Nova Servants able to, they didn't lose hope, because that is just the definition of it's not over until it's over right there. Bringing it back and able to just come back with a sweeping push and so many clams to knock that out.
Especially with whenever they were pushing up, like, they only had about 18 seconds left. They did not have that many rooms for mistakes, and if they did, that may have not been it, because if they did not have a clam, that would have been overtime. That overtime would not have come out and saved them at all, meaning that was their last push, most likely, which it was the right push. They didn't make any mistakes, and they were able to push up, get the knockout, and take the win.
Yeah, definitely. I did say earlier that desperate last-minute pushes tend to be very scrappy and uncoordinated, but that was pretty much the opposite of that. They executed it perfectly. Props to them.
Yes, that was really well done. I mean, especially to Crustacean Crusaders, because they were able to not go down to 100 to 1 as we were saying before, which is really good. They did perform really well in that set overall, but sadly Nova was able to take them out.
Yeah, a great showing of skill by these two teams, and very exciting first set to watch here.
I agree, yes.
It looks like we do have our next match coming up, which is going to be Hunny versus, I am probably going to butcher this, but Baljeet Fan Club. So, do you know either of these teams? I do not. Or maybe it's just other people under alternate names, because it feels like people tend to do that for these tournaments.
Yes, I mean, especially for like, weeklies like this, which I can't remind, this is a weekly, so we will be seeing the next game next week. But yes, Baljeet fan club, hopefully I'm not butchering that. We will be seeing some familiar faces from myself. Like I know, for example, Jack, I think Republic and Custom from the side of Baljeet fan club. I don't really, I mean, given they are going under Winnie the Pooh references for their name, so who knows who they actually are, but yeah.
Yeah, who knows who they actually are indeed. I do. Wow, these are actually people I know. Wow. Republic is an old teammate of mine, although it was a very many months ago. So we have both gone our separate ways since then. But I do know he plays heavies, so I am very excited to see his showing of skill.
I love seeing some heavy representation.
Yeah. I like the Winnie the Pooh theme though, with logo and all. Although we may not know who they are, they have executed it quite nicely with the matching names.
Yes, I mean, that's the one thing you get to do about when you're going pickup, especially with something like this where it's not capped, you just get to go whatever you want. You get to go.
Oh, I see. With some information I've been given, this appears to be C-Boys.
You know what? That's good. I mean, they are well versed in the Winnie the Pooh thing, so they're Winnie the Pooh for now.
Alright, well we shall address them as such. Our first map in this second set will be Rainmaker on Anchovy Games. Any thoughts on this specifically? Anchovy has never been a great map for me.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it's kind of iffy map, but it's okay. I mean, Rainmaker isn't too bad on it. I mean, there is some ways you can get through. Some are stupider than others, but it's okay. It's for no one knowing, it's the from the opponent's side, it is left side. From the fan, you get to take it that way, and you do get some progress from it, but it's not it's not safe at all. But
I mean, my team has won by doing that in a scrim in overtime, so don't count it out completely. It's just, rather, if you need to do it, if it's a desperate last-minute move, sure. But it is rather looked down on for good reasons.
Like, you don't want to go off of that for a first push, like, it's not really a good idea to have for a first push to go out from that side, so...
Yeah, like other modes on Anchovy, it's very important to control plat, because you control plat, you can basically get access to where the enemy is dropping after their respawns. And in Rainmaker, you can just go down it, and you get very close to the pedestal, you get a lot of points off of that.
Yes, but right now we will be loading into our first game of round 2 on Rainmaker Anchovy. We will be seeing it. I mean, yes, it does look like C-Boys indeed, and then I believe Baljeet fan club is actually in fact Avalanche. I don't know if I said it before, but yes, it will be basically Avalanche versus C-Boys, but not exactly. But yeah, we will be seeing right now we see Winnie the Pooh. Just building up their special. They will be able to pop armor, and right now things are looking right for the side of Hunny, and that is actually going to be a wipe from the side of Baljeet fan club. So yes, it does look things are looking up for them. They just got to pave away for the Rainmaker. They do not get out to 19, but keep in mind, as we've been saying a lot, it's not up till it's over. You see this like, okay, maybe Hunny is able to take it over, but that isn't the case for Splatoon.
Yeah, that was perfect, capitalizing off of a wipe right there. You saw one of their teammates on the side of Hunny just paving a path for the Rainmaker so they weren't wasting time charging up and shooting. And it is rather fitting that Hunny is the one with yellow ink here, but as you said, it's not over until it's over. Rainmaker can be over in the blink of an eye, and we'd see this Sploosh getting a double and already pushing up onto Plat, trying to control it with their bombs, and they have this hammer at the ready as well. So Baljeet Fan Club is going to basically go the same way and just able to tick that the counter all the way down to 43, but their push does get shut down unfortunately earlier, so that is not enough to take the lead. I believe they are looking to extend it, but unfortunately it looks like this well-placed both Inkjet and Splatling are able to push them out all the way back to mid, and so now it is back to the tug-of-war for mid, the neutral state of a ranked mode before you get the picks that you need to start a push.
Yes, but can I just mention a few minutes ago we did see the Sploosh from the side of Baljeet Fan Club got cancelled by I believe it was Tiger from the side of Honey. So, you know, great job from Honey getting that pretty crucial pick on them a while ago. But yeah, they will be trying to push up again. There is it on the side of Honey, meaning that this is just you know, more hope to them that they can push up. It is only 10 counters down, meaning that everything right now is looking pretty even. I mean, they got that down in like not even like 90 seconds left. You know, like this is a pretty close matchup currently.
Yeah, we're only halfway into the match, 2 minutes 30 seconds, a little bit more now, and we are 29-19. So this is a pretty high scoring game. But Rainmaker is a mode like that, you know. The Rainmaker can travel pretty quickly if you've got good coordination with your teammates, and so you can get high scores very quickly, as we have seen from both teams, both sides, in this match. And right now the Rainmaker is kind of stuck in this little corner on right, and there we can see in the overhead view those propellers. That is the right way we were talking about, and that is not a very common way to take the Rainmaker on Anchovy. Usually it is taken the route that both teams have chosen in this match. You take it either over the fan or over the entire plat, and then you just try and go in from the left. And this, unfortunately, push getting shut down by the Splatling. Sitting on Overlook here, using their range to their advantage. Good job to them.
Yes, I mean, that's really what Splatling is the best at, is, you know, just keeping their enemies far away, you know, just getting picks that way. I mean, they are an ink, so, you know, it's kind of natural for them.
Yeah, I noticed this at the start of the match, but I forgot to mention it, that Honey is running a double Splatling comp with the Vanilla Heavy and then the Nautilus. And I like that. You know, double Splatling puts a lot of area pressure and paint out, as you said, and with just the constant rain of bullets always being fired down onto the battlefield, it's a lot harder to stay at full health.
Yeah, yes. Sure, I mean, but right now, it looks... Sorry about that. There is down on the side of Honey, meaning that right now, Baljeet Fan Club, this may just be the push that they need to try and push up. Because right now there is only about 30 seconds left. They are playing out Array, meaning that right now they're going to hopefully get some picks, and then if they get picked, that's going to be looking really well for them. But sadly, that missiles, in fact, will be taking out the Rainmaker. 2 down on the side of Honey, 2 down on the side of Baljeet Fan Club too. Well, now I mean they're respawn, but right now they have to take it, and if they don't, you know, really do too well, then that's probably going to be the game right there. But we will be seeing an overtime, meaning that right now tensions are high. There is a 2 up on the side of Baljeet Fan Club. Things are shooting somewhere by the minute, as there is 2 specials out, and they will be able to take out the Rainmaker.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Ray just coming down and shutting down the already weakened Rainmaker. That Rainmaker was just kind of trapped on that fan. That death to 10 missiles was very unfortunate, but a very nice showing out of both teams for this first match, because 19-29, that is both very high scoring and very close.
Yes, that was a pretty you know, like all over the place at game 1. Like we see 19 for a first push, and then we see Baljeet Fan Club knock it down to somewhere in the 20s, I believe.
It was 43 and then 29, yes.
Okay, yeah, it was that. But you know, Honey, they didn't really. They're like, okay, that's a good enough push for now. Because you never can really be too complacent. And Rainmaker for sure. You like, you know, just gotta like, you know, wait for a second. You know, make sure you play your cards right, especially if you have a lead like that. Because in some cases, you might like whenever you push up, you're just giving them the Rainmaker, and then that's they just get like some map control, and then they push up. That maybe leads it up. So Rainmaker is a really strategic type game mode. So you got to play your cards correctly, and if you don't, then ooh.
Definitely, and especially with how lethal wipes are, as we saw, a wipe can just afford your enemy a push from mid all the way to 19. But leaving Rainmaker behind for now, we are going into Splat Zones on Skipper Pavilion. I'm sorry, I cannot talk either. So, I quite like this map and mode. Skipper in general, but especially with zones, affords this kind of dual attack strategy almost. That's not the right way of putting it, but you can come in from top or you can come in from bottom. And so usually you see like many separate fights playing out with people trying to take control of top and taking control of bottom, and then you need to maintain control of both of those to have control of the zone.
Yeah, so and I mean even then the zone may not even want to try and get capped. The zone on Skipper Pavilion especially is very stubborn whenever it comes to people trying to cap it. Like, okay, so this person wants to get it. No, this person wants to get it, actually. So it's just like, it's a tug of war, really. And then you're like, okay, we gotta get picks. You get picks, and then hopefully you get the zone there. But then again, like I said, it's just hard. But we will be seeing, but loading into our match, we will be seeing a smiling comp being pulled out once again. So that's going to be really exciting to see. But yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to be coming in this Game 2 match.
Actually, double splatling on both sides, which I quite like. The Saints 2 splatling is also heavy remix and not 79. It looks like great minds think alike, so we will just have to see how this plays out. Double armor in the form of the Junior and the Zap on Baljeet fan club. So that's a nice pick for keeping and extending pushes and holding the zone. Like you said, that zone seems so stubborn just because it's such a large zone and you have to ink such a large portion and to get the required percentage to cap. So we see Honey taking early control and an early cap already down to past 60, and this Junior here is just bomb spamming, painting for armor and applying that pressure to the lower plat to prevent either of the Splatlings from feeling comfortable standing there and charging up.
Yes, I mean, really, if you're pressuring the Splatlings where they can't do what they literally have to do, then that's really what you have to do for Splatlings. I will say, even though I'm a Splatling player myself, it is really annoying whenever people decide to start pushing you. So, getting that pressure on the Splatling player is, one of the biggest things you can do, because if you put too much pressure on them, they, like most other weapons, will fall. So it's really just it's really hard. But speaking of which, we will be seeing Baljeet Franco being able to push up. They are very close to the lead, though. There are about 20 counters about from lead. So Honey right now needs to be really coordinated whenever they're trying to push and to make sure that they do not try to get the lead. But right now we are seeing about one counter left, and that we'll be able to take the lead. But the question is, will they knock it out? Will they stop? Will Honey take the lead again? Who knows?
Yeah, we saw that. We saw a little inkjet battle between the two Nautiluses, and neither Nautilus died, but that may have been exactly what Baljeet Fan Club needed to knock that game out, because they did not get picked off from it. And like you said, Honey needed to kind of come together, collect their resources, and then push in as a unit, and I feel like they really just didn't do that, and so they just afforded Baljeet Fan Club full control of mid, and they were just able to pick them off one by one as they entered the zone.
Yes, that's really what you need for your zones. I mean, you really just need to have as much pressure as you can on the zone. But talking about pressure on and things you need to have pressure on, Tower Control Surgeon will be our next map that we will be seeing on round 2, which means right now, even though it's play all 3, tensions are high. Like right now, who's gonna take it? Like we see a good game in the first game. Honey's able to get a good opening push. Then we see Honey getting the first opening push again. But then forget that. Baljeet takes the knockout. Knockout against a pretty good lead. So right now, for Tower Control, who's gonna take it? Like, who knows what's gonna be happening?
Yeah, definitely. From the past 2 matches that we've seen, it seems that Honey has great openings. They're able to take a iron grip on mid and just use that to their advantage, get the picks they need, and open with a large push. But it also seems that if Baljeet Fan Club is able to recover from that and get their footings, they can just come right back with that same iron grip, and they can just lock Honey out completely. As we saw, that first Rainmaker match was rather close with 19 to 29, and then Baljeet Fan Club just knocked out that second game entirely. So will Honey's great openings hold through this Tower Control match, or will Baljeet Fan Club be able to just come back with that same ferocity and knock it out or win the game?
Yeah, I mean, right now, if I were Baljeet Fan Club, I was like, okay, maybe I should just, roll with the Iron Fist, and just be like, no, we're gonna take this game. Because, I mean, after what happened last game, it just proves that this game can go either way. And for Dark Surgeon, it is a little, I will say, it is kind of easy to get knocked out here. Especially if you are going in 1-by-1, which overall is not a good idea. But once again, kinda, like Inkplot, they have a direct entry into your spawn pad-ish. So, yeah, it's just it's hard in general, but it's possible to get back into the game.
I do see the Splatlings getting swapped out here. So, the scope, like you said, Tower is, according to you, I don't play Chargers, Tower is the scope's mode, and that is what we are seeing out of Honey here. And then Baljeet Fan Club still having the remix, but opting for I was going to say slightly more aggressive comp, but not necessarily, depending on how you want to play it. And we are, actually, as I've been talking, we see 3 down on the side of Honey, so this is going to enable Baljeet Fan Club to start off their first push. Already, this K-Gal here pushing up very far using their Booyah Bomb and their walls to their advantage so that they can stay alive while applying pressure to the other team. And already past the first checkpoint, and we are not even past the first minute of the game. This is a great opening out of Baljeet Fan Club here.
Yes, I mean, right now we're only heading to the 5-second mark, we're already down to 16, right now, I need to push up, because if not, Baljeet Fan Club will take what they can. 3 down on the side of Honey, which means that sadly they will not be able to get as strong a position as they need to try, save the game, as there is only a few counters left, 32-1, and they will be able to knock it out going Baljeet Fan Club going 2-1 against Honey in round 2.
Wow, Commentators curse, I suppose. Gone is that, those strong openings that we saw out of Honey. Instead, it was Baljeet's Fan Club. They just took that game, they took mid, they got all of the picks they needed, and they said, we're not even going to give you a chance to push back, just KO and end the game right here, right now.
Yes, for sure. I mean, like I was talking before, Baljeet Fan Club, they're we're gonna roll with the Iron Fist. And what I was talking about earlier as well, it is easy to get locked out from Surgeon. So, right now, Baljeet Fan Club, they were able to take that out in a second because, again, it is easy to get knocked out. Not locked out. Locked out. Well, I mean, yeah, anyways. They were able to get locked out, sadly, which means Honey will take 1 game. But remember, it is a round robin, and it is playoff 3, meaning that right now, in a game, that can help for what bracket you get placed in later on in the tournament.
Alright, so, we do have a couple of things that we want to make known. So first, before I do talk about the other ones, I do want to say, do feel free to donate for a future IPL tournament's prize pool at streamlabs.com/IPL Splatoon. All of that money goes to the prize pool for IPL tournaments, so hey, if you donate and then you win, you might be just getting your money back.
I mean, just donate in general, it's a pretty cool thing, just donate.
It's like insurance. Go donate and then go win and get your money back,
Yes. Yes, please donate. I'll hug you. But yes.
Well, I think that's incentive enough to donate.
Exactly. I mean, if you don't want me to hug you, don't worry. I'll give you a star sticker.
So socially distanced hug.
Yes.
Yes, and other things that I would like to say. IPL has also opened applications for swimmer sync and testing ground staff. So, and in addition to that, we are always just looking for additions to our production and commentary teams. So if you are interested in helping out in these areas, please fill out the form. You can also fill out the form multiple times if you are interested in multiple different positions. So the form can be found at IPL Labs. Actually, iplabs.inc/help us.
Yes. But keep in mind, you will be directed to a Google form, I believe.
Yes. I did.
So,
I just.
yes.
I didn't want to read out the random string of numbers and letters provided by Google Forms. So IPL has that link on their website for ease of access and ease of remembering.
Yeah, it's easy for us to, say without having to go through like 10 letters.
Yeah.
But yes.
That's how I got into commentating. I applied on a whim, and then I got a DM saying, "Hey, can you commentate Low Ink Day 2?" And I freaked out, and now I'm on the commentating team. And one other thing, IPL is going to be having Reef Rushdown on March 6th. It is the new bi-weekly tournament at IPL aimed at the Oceania region. So it is every other Saturday at 1 p.m. AEDT, which is 9 EST on Friday. And it will be Swish. I can't talk. What? It will be in Swiss to single elimination. So that is on the IPL Discord, and if you're not in that Discord server, that can be found at IPL Labs or iplabs.inc/Discord, which will redirect you to the server invite.
Yeah, so please come join us over on Reef Rushdown. I believe it's this Friday, right? I believe so.
Yes,
this Friday.
Friday for North America and Saturday for Oceania.
Yes, of course. So come join us. I believe it's the same format as Testing Grounds. So if you're in Oceania and you like playing in Testing Grounds, then come over here.
Come join us
specifically for you. And this isn't made for you, and it's also the same thing as Testing Grounds. So, either way, just come and join us. So yeah.
Alright, so we are going to be taking a short break before our next round. We will see you all in a few minutes.
Wow. Welcome back, everyone, and yes, welcome back, everyone, to Summer Sync 20. Once again, I am Bandkid. If you are recently joining us, we have Kadar. I hopefully said it right. With me
Cater,
right now.
yes.
But yes, right now we will be loading into our first game for round 3. Sugar Crush versus HELIX. On Clan Blitz Albacore Hotel.
Clan Blitz, new Albacore Hotel. I hear a lot about this map and mode, to be honest. Some people love it. I like it. I have a teammate that despises it, mixed opinions all around. Just because, you have the grates that you are forced to walk across 2 ways out of 3 just to even access the clam basket. And so those grates make you very vulnerable because you can't swim away or you'll fall into the water. So it's just a matter of preference, to be honest.
I mean, yes, it definitely is, but right now, as we are seeing, currently we do see Sugar Crash, Sugar Crash, no Sugar Crash, I'm sorry about that, but yes, Sugar Crash was 2 down a few moments ago, meaning right now HELIX has a bit more of an advantage against them, which means, oh wait, never mind, they're 2 down again, meaning that right now they are going to have to push up to try and get a push. I believe that is actually a delayed wipe, meaning that right now they're going to trying to get that clam in. I believe. Oh wait, no, yeah, there's only 1 clam. But yes, they are gonna try to save that clam, but sadly not. Meaning that will be an opening push of 60, or in counting, as we do see 41, possibly more, and yes, we do see 38 currently, which may be the end of the push, as they only have honestly have defender now. So.
Yeah. We're not even a minute and 30 seconds into the game, and already the team has pushed to 38. That siege at the beginning of the game was just spitting out ray after ray. That's with the combination of great painting out of the main weapon and a low special cost. That is really siege at strength right there. And hey, people say it's annoying, but I am a siege at player, and I fully support ray spam.
Yes, that's what siege are supposed to be for. I mean, is it right? Right? Am I wrong?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, yes. Wanted to make sure. But yes, that's what they're known for. It's just like you stack on a lot of special cards that you get right. Like every
yeah.
so often. So yeah. But right now, speaking of a good push opportunity, I believe that one is respawning, and there is there's I believe 3 down.
Yeah, a beautiful delayed triple out of that soda, just using their sloshing and their fall off to their advantage to hit people over a box, and then even when their teammate went down, just keeping up the aggression and using the chip damage to their advantage. And this is going to enable Sugar Crash to come back out here in mid, take control again, take clam control. Right now we see the counts, actually, I think I got the team names mixed up, but HELIX with 12 clams to Sugar Crash's none, and so although Sugar Crash here is starting to take back control of mid, they really do need to gather clams, because that is pretty much, that's the entire point of Clan Blitz. It's called Clan Blitz for a reason.
Yes, I mean, you get clams in the name, you gotta pick clams. But yeah, right now they do have 14 and that they are going to push up with some, but I believe there is 8 on the side for the highest run right now, meaning that they just gotta try and be coordinated with their clams. But speaking of which, they are at 9. That was a pretty clean fall off, I believe, from the CDS, from the side of Sugar Crash. Meaning that they were able to take them down. That was a pretty clean pick there, but sadly it does not mean that does not mean a push.
Yeah, you can't push without clams. You can get all the picks and all the turf, but if you don't have clams, you can't open the basket. Then ultimately you get nothing out of it. And again, we see just the rays incessantly coming out of this siege jet. With new Albacore Hotel, the structure of this map, it being so long, if you ray from one of the sides, your ray just stretches out all the way across mid, and it gets you great control of mid. So I really like the way the siege is using their ray to apply chip damage so that their teammates can get easier kills here.
Yes, I mean that's what Ray is really famous for maps like Albacore, other maps like Chronicle, for example. Like they are known for Ray they are known for being really annoying on long maps where they can just stretch out their Ray for
who knows how long. So, right, it's really useful for the team that has the Ray. Not really useful for that team though. But speaking of which, we will be seeing Jackhawk. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Was positioned on mid, meaning that they were able to push up, but they did not. There is some down on the side of the Sugar Crash, though, meaning that this may not be a push, and it looks like the only player who would actually be seeing this game is 38. They do have a pity, though, meaning that they are able to possibly get it in, but they're pushed up. I don't know if we're going to see it. If they do throw it in, meaning that will begin another swipe. So, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, after that opening push to 38, HELIX just kept up an amazing defense, really not letting Sugar Crush get any clams at all, or if they did get any clams, they were picked off pretty much immediately. Like, I saw Sugar Crush's clam count go down from 23 to 5 in the span of 3 seconds as their members were picked off.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I believe it's Sugar Crash. They were just, they were getting picked off by HELIX by so often that game. It was like 2 at one point, then it was like 3, the late triple. It was all over the place for them. But who knows? Maybe they will be able to pick it up in the Rainmaker Montemaria. In your opinion, what do you think of this map?
If you get wiped once, it's practically over. I think with this map and mode, it's on paper it is quite well balanced. In practice, I do not like playing it, but hey, maybe other people have differing opinions of it because there are many ways to push on this map. You can go through Stree and Elbow, you can go through Cut, which is that small jump over, or you can take the very long way on left. And the thing about Cut, that jump over the gap, is that it is fast. Yes, you get points very quickly from it, but it is also very risky. You can be bumped off by a bomb or just not being able to make the jump. And it's also very defendable due to how close it is to the enemy spawn and how narrow of a gap it is. Like, Toxic Mist being thrown there or a wall can just completely stop that push.
Yes, basically as you were saying, that's a high risk, high reward kind of push. Like, you gotta make sure that they're safe to do it. But speaking of safe pushes, looks like there is 2 down on the side of Sugar Crash, meaning that if they were to pull off that kind of push, it's very much possible right now. As I believe they are currently only respawning. We do see a Ray. Oh my! They get a splash down super jump. I believe that's a double, meaning that right now there is 3 down on the side of Sugar Crash, meaning that they are able to push up. And with Montemaria, you get a lot of ease. You're able to get some pretty cheese pushes a lot, meaning that they are able to knock it down to 18. But keep in mind, this is Montemaria, this is Rainmaker. Anything can happen within the next 4 minutes.
Definitely. I mean, like you said, we still have 4 minutes left in this game. And although 16, 18, I can't read numbers. You have seen me display my, pretty much all of my intelligence on stream here. But 18 is a strong opening push, but that Rainmaker does get reset back to mid, and so they cannot knock it out. A very nice snipe here out of the splatter scope, but they are going to get taken down by the Stingray. So just trades back and forth here, the 3v2, and both teams are just looking to get the picks that they need to start off another push. And that's actually what's going to happen here. HELIX pushes it up through Cut, looks like. They do get taken out, but I believe I said this earlier in a separate Rainmaker match. When you are stalling out your enemy like this, you're forcing them to be on the defense when they really, really just want to be on the I guess, offense. That doesn't feel like the right stance and structure, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. You're not letting them start the pushes that they so desperately need to win this game.
Yeah, with Rainmaker in general, it's hard to get pushes. It's hard to get to keep pushes. It's really it's like one way thing. Like, okay, you gotta get pushed. Are you keep that thing? It's very hard. But that does not mean that you can back out from Rainmaker match. I mean, right now we are seeing Sugar Crash. They're trying their best right now to try and push up. There is it on the side of HELIX, so meaning that right now they can easily get a push if they need.
K-Shot got a very nice double, and now they're going to pick it up. They're not dropping immediately, which is rather smart of them, because dropping does get you points, but it also puts you in a position to die. And oh! It looks like they don't quite make it off the ledge. They are killed in mid-air by a bomb. And so that means that they do lose a lot of points, but Sugar Crash is still in position to hopefully continue this push if they do not get picked off too much. This Inkjet coming out here on the side of HELIX, searching for a pick that they do get to end this push. And the push going all the way down to 21 to 18, but it looks like HELIX is able to grab it and reset it, so a point difference of 3, but HELIX is still in the lead, narrowly saving that game.
Yes, but I would like to touch on something real quick. I believe where they just reset the remake, where they just fell off to reset it. I was honestly expecting to see they go through that way, because that's a good way to, no one can really touch you if you play it right. If you don't fall, that's great, because you cut down a lot of points in time from that. So it's just good. It's like how cut is going through cut. It's a high risk, high reward. So I was honestly expecting to see that, but I did not see that, as they were able to reset it, as it is currently mid-ish. So yes, we will be seeing a very high-tense game in the next about minutes.
Yeah. HELIX here. HELIX wants to defend and keep their lead. Sugar Crash is really just searching for what they need, but unfortunately they do go 3 down, and so this C-Jet here is going to be forced to back up and out of mid and wait for their teammate. And that is not the position they want to be in. They get a trade with the Slosher, but even so, they don't have control of the Rainmaker, and that's what they need. They need to start charging specials to get control of mid. They need to get this push going, not be in these hyper defensive positions that they're being forced to. So I think I got the team names mixed up halfway through that sentence and wasn't sure what I was saying is correct now. But we are down to 10 seconds left, and we see the Zap here popping the armor, and that is a full wipe on the side of HELIX. This is exactly what Sugar Crash needs, the opening that they need to drop and get those points. The Rainmaker drops, but they are getting pushed back, and they are unfortunately just taken out, jumped on by so many of the members of HELIX, and that is going to be HELIX's game.
That was honestly, that was a pretty, surprising thing to see. I mean, we see a wipe on the side of HELIX, okay, like you said before, that's basically, that's game. But then HELIX no, and then they drop on them and they take the lead. That was the really, well done defensive play by HELIX there. But the question is if Sugar Crash gets a push on them in the first few minutes, will they be able to defend themselves and Splatoon's Inkblot?
Yeah, with zones on Inkblot, you do have that large tower in mid. So, there's a lot that can happen. You can be running around that tower on the bottom of mid, you can be sitting on top of that tower in mid. You can use that tower to access the enemy's plat by just jumping off of it into their plat. So there's a lot you can do on zones on Inkblot.
Yes, for sure. And I'm gonna be honest here. I would really like to see some chargers, some spotlight, or something that can keep the mid down on Inkblot. Because if you get mid, that you basically get at least a good amount of maps. So okay, someone's thinking for my gone, blatted. Oh, someone's just coming in to try and be here, gone. So it's just mid is just the most vital part of the game. So seeing that in the in this game is gonna be very important for both teams.
Yeah, we are continuously seeing very nice openings out of HELIX, similar to Hunny in the previous set. So with Splat Zones, that being a lockout mode, we will have to see if Sugar Crash is able, if HELIX comes out with the same sort of openings that we've been seeing. We'll see if Sugar Crash needs to be able to recover from that. And hey, it looks like you've gotten your wish. We see chargers from both sides. Splatterscope on the side, a Firefin Splatterscope on the side of HELIX, and an E-Leader on this side of Sugar Crash. And already, Respawn Punisher E-Leader taking out the Splatterscope, and that is 3 down on the side of HELIX. So Sugar Crash is going to have this early lead here, taking control of mid, and this E-Leader, like you said earlier, not early, before the match, is firing into plat, and just, even though they get another snipe on that Firefin Splatterscope, which is huge for them. They're just putting up just exactly the pressure that you were talking about.
Yes, I mean, this map is all about pressure. Like, that's how you get in, that's how you get out. Like, that's exactly what you need on this map. I mean, right now we are seeing Soda from the side of the Helix. They are using what a lot of people don't really use too much whenever they go a bomb rush weapon, and that is using the getting more range with your bomb rush by holding the R button. Which, if I'm being honest, that really helped them there because they were able to get pressure down, get pressure on their flag, and then they get pressure on the zone, which is really what they need. And right now they've tried to do what Sugar Crush was doing before with the charger on the tower in a step, and if they keep that up, then that's going to be really hard for Sugar Crush to come back with, especially because Helix has a slosher, which is really detrimental on Inglot.
And you see that Slosher already getting one pick and then getting an assist with that burst bomb rush. And so we see already Helix has pretty much, they've taken the lead because Sugar Crush is only able to get down to 45, and I say only because these timers tick down so fast that the games can be over just right before, even before you can get back into mid. And so Helix is just incessantly keeping up this pressure, and like you said, the Slosher, the Glugas with their fizzy bombs spam into the plat. Sugar Crush is trying to get out, popping specials like rain, and they do manage to cap. So now, applying a 66-point penalty to Helix. This is going to give them more time to regroup, even though they were 3 down. They will now have more time to regroup without worrying about getting knocked out.
Yes, I mean, right now we currently are seeing a huge penalty from the side of Helix, which just makes it even even more hard to get more progress, because of the penalty you got I believe it's 50 counters. I mean, right now it's 60 counters of penalty, which just makes it even harder for them to try and get any progress, because you gotta get rid of that penalty first. And if you just keep on going in with the penalty on your profile, then that's going to be really hard for you to get out of.
Yeah, the E-Leader on the side of Sugar Crash sitting on top of mid, they've been landing such nice shots throughout this entire game, They did land yet another shot on the Firefin, but because the Firefin had armor, they did not kill in that one shot. However, a teammate was able to finish them off, so they got the assist for that. I do like the E-Leader's positioning, though. Even if they aren't landing all their shots, with that laser, they are able to put so much pressure on the enemy team and just area control. Even just the threat of dying to a charger is enough to make someone back off.
Yes, I mean, charge in general, I guess kind of a high-risk, high-reward, I guess you could say. It's kind of okay, you're threatening me, but at the same time I'm threatening you, charges are just they're very much skill capped, that's the best thing to think of, it's hard to use, but it's really good whenever you do have them on your side. But yeah, can I just mention, a few moments ago, we were able to see a double storm being put up on the side of Sugar Crash, which really helped keep the zone down, which Sugar Crash does currently have to believe they were able to take it back from Helix. We tried to neutralize the zone, but right now Helix is kind of in a bad spot, because right now they can go 3-0 and that could really help them on later on, but right now, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, while I was busy complimenting the E-Leader, I forgot to check out the rest of the match, and so apparently Sugar Crush pushed all the way down to 9, which I would have been a lot more excited about if I had noticed it happening, but I zoned out while talking about the E-Leader and did not notice it. So now, we see they had that huge penalty, 60-something on them, but already, not Helix, Sugar Crush has eaten through it, already down to 6 penalty. They did lose control of the zone, but with 3 down now on the side of Helix, they get the zone back, and with only 7 seconds, this is looking to be their game.
Yes, sir. There is only 2 seconds, which means that will be game. Meaning that we will not, in fact, be seeing a 3-0, but we will be seeing a 2-1 from the side of Helix and Sugar Crash. Which, I mean, if I'm being honest, I would rather go out on a 2-1, or, sorry, 1-2 than a 0-3. It also helps you out with your placements later on, but it also helps you out with just playing. Just makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll take one off.
Yeah, ending on a good note is always quite nice.
Yes, for sure.
Alright, so it looks like with that, round 3 of groups is over, and we will be shortly moving into Top Cut, which is going to be single elimination. We will be, Bankit and I, we will be commentating for the first round, but after that we are going to be handing over the mic to, two other commentators, specifically, Stu and, Bash Dash.
No, I'm sorry. Steve Sally's not able to come tonight, I believe. I think we're
my
having
bad.
Pop Gun coming over. So,
Right, thank you for correcting me.
yes, but yeah, you will be able to see Pop Gun and Bash being out after next round, most likely. So, yeah, so be sure you're watching out for that.
Alright, so while we are transitioning from groups to Top Cut, we are going to take a short break. We will be right back, and we will see you all in a few minutes. Stick around.
Welcome back, everyone, to Swim or Sink. Once again, it is me, Bandkid, and we are playing with KR. We're playing with. I'm also here, joined by KR tonight. How are you tonight? How are you doing tonight? And are you ready to see some good old Top Cut action very soon?
I am doing very well. Swiss was very exciting, some nice matches, and now we are heading into Top Cut. I am very excited. Our first match here, we have Arctic Moon versus 100% Sunshine. And wow, amazing, I actually recognize names, that never happens.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I know some of 100% Sunshine. You know, like I seen their names around. Specifically Madness, they sound familiar. And then Arctic Moon is Arctic Moon. So
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to seeing what both of these teams have to offer in this first set here. So, we are going to be starting off with tower control on Starfish main stage. Do you have any specific thoughts on this map or mode as we head into the first match?
I personally like the map mode. It's just like, after you get from around the right side of the map, it's kind of hard to really push up. So it's gonna be really interesting to see if they do get past that part, both teams, and how they will overcome that little con of playing on this map.
We are seeing Nautiluses on both teams, but it looks like Arctic Moon is pulling a double Splatling comp with the Sidra and the Nautilus, so I am excited to see how this plays out. And a Respawn Punisher Bamboozler on their side as well. This is quite an interesting comp, but I am really liking how it is playing out. Actually, wait, no, that's not Arctic Moon. Wait, yeah, it is. I got very mixed up with the colors there for some reason because they are different as can be. 100% Sunshine off with a strong start, already getting to the first checkpoint and almost getting through it. Although this junior is getting pelted by bombs here, so they are forced to tap off of the tower. Fortunately, though, they do manage to get the pick and jump out. So they do still live, and they keep that little bit of armor. They are now able to continue charging armor for the rest of their team as Arctic Moon begins to set up a push of their own. Looking to get to the first checkpoint. They are one down, though that Hydra is down. So it's going to be interesting. A very nice Inkjet pick out of this Nautilus here, looking for a second but doesn't quite get it. That does still help their push along, though, as they are already at the second checkpoint and looking to take the lead.
Yeah, right now we are seeing Twig from the side of Arctic Moon. They are pushing up, and right now they are really just trying to take down everyone if they can. We do see about, I believe it's the Super Tree right now from both teams. We see Splatoon trying to push up there, but right now we are seeing the Junior from the side of Arctic Moon is just trying to keep up the pressure, the paint, whatever they need to, whenever they can try to push up.
100% Sunshine is doing a great job of keeping Arctic Moon off of the tower right now. 61 to 63, that tower is still sitting on the checkpoint, but finally 100% Sunshine manages to force Arctic Moon out of that favorable position, and now that push is over. The tower is resetting back to mid, 61 to 63, and we are heading to the second half of the match now. So that is rather low scoring and rather close, but hey, maybe one of these teams will have a giant break. We see 100% Sunshine now getting past that checkpoint. The junior does get taken down, but they have increased their lead a little bit to 52.
Yeah, right now we actually are seeing three down from the side of 100% Sunshine, meaning that will probably be the end of the push. Yes, it looks like the last one standing sadly did get taken out by Twig with the 2 down. With Twig is all in place right now. They're playing machine. I mean, that is what they're supposed to be. But yes, we see. But speaking of which, we only have one up once again on the side of Arctic Moon, meaning that 100% Sunshine will have to push up. Will be trying to push up again. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the Nautilus on the side of Arctic Moon getting caught in crossfire, and so they are taken out from that nice position they were keeping on Great. Madness out here with the Inkjet. They do get a pick off of it, looking for a second. It doesn't quite get it, but that is still very nice pressure on that top part. They are now just sitting on the enemy snipe, using their range and mobility to their advantage to run around looking for fall-off picks as well. And 100% Sunshine is in a very nice position there. They are trying to take that second checkpoint. They do get to it. 3 down now on the side of Arctic Moon. Delayed wipe. So this is going to enable 100% Sunshine to extend their push even further, getting past that second checkpoint. Madness here still up on this snipe, still firing down on tower, does eventually get taken out, and now that means that is a full wipe on the side of 100% Sunshine. Arctic Moon is now able to take back mid. They now have free reign, they have specials, 2 specials online. This is exactly what they need for their counter push. With just over 30 seconds left in the game, this is their last chance pretty much to win this game.
Yes, I mean, as I was saying before, once they get past that right side, it's pretty hard for them to try and, make a comeback. But we know Arctic Moon, we know that they will not take they do not take no for an answer. So right now, they're going to be doing everything they can to try and push up. In the last seconds of the game, we are seeing them take out the first checkpoint. It looks like Company will be trying to get a flank on them. 3 down on the side, which means that 100% on time will be taking the first game of this best of 5 set.
Yeah, beautiful flank on the Carbon at the end, just able to provide, take the members of Arctic Moon off guard, get those picks, and just absolutely kill that last minute overtime push. But still, a very strong showing out of these 2 teams, and a great way to start off this first set.
Yes, that was a really good first game that we saw there. I mean, we just see 100% Sunshine decided to just keep on pushing up and keep on going for it because they knew they could have done. They knew they could have gotten really far with it, and thankfully they did. It's just Arctic Moon. They couldn't really do much in turn whenever they were pushing up, which really made it hard for them, get access to push up because once again they got passed out the right side of the enemy's team. That's pretty hard to recover from. So just you gotta try what you do, and sadly they were not able to prevail. But hopefully we will be able to see them try and make a comeback here on Zone Sturgeon Shipyard.
Yeah, Splat Zones on Sturgeon Shipyard, where, as you said earlier, it is rather easy to get locked out on this map and mode. You are given free reign in the enemy's spawn if you so choose to take that, and if you get your anchor, your long-range weapon, if you even have one, on that snipe, the enemy snipe, you are pretty much getting full control of the enemy pit as well. And having that means they need, if they're not taking that right side to push in, if they're just pushing in through mid, you can just catch them as they're dropping and pick them off if they drop into you one by one.
Yes, I mean, really, you cannot really drop into one by one, which it's a really,
yes,
risky thing to do. Like, I mean, go for it if you want, but like, you can try it out. But yes, we will be looking to our game right now. In fact, it looks like we will be seeing, I believe that's Nautilus is on the same team. Yes, there is two knots on the on different teams from Cool Dude, and I believe that was Sinex. Not Sinex, Madness. Madness was able to pick up that knot. But yeah, right now, speaking of the knot is actually responding right now, meaning that 100% Sunshine is getting the push that they need in the beginning half.
Yes, another strong opening by 100% Sunshine here, as they are pushing in, taking control of this enemy pit, but the junior on the side of Arctic Moon does take one of them out their try, and now their junior going down. A Booyah Bomb getting thrown into the zone, forcing, I believe that was, not sure who, to jump out, but now that Booyah Bomb did cap the zone, and so this zone is now in favor of Arctic Sunshine. And we see 2 people here, the Nautilus and the Scope up on... Is that a Scope? Yes, that is a Scope. Up on the enemy snipe, the enemy spinner, and just using their range and their firing power to fire down into pit and try and take those enemies off guard. And they do take the lead by a few points. The zone is immediately flipped back to 100% sunshine, though.
Yes, right now though, does not mean that they are able to get too much in. I mean, right now, Arctic Moon is able to have the lead, but just then, I believe that there was only one person on a life instead of 100% sunshine. But right now, I mean, they were able to somehow prevail, which means that right now their team was able to pile in on pit and trying to push back in. As I said before, if you don't really look at pit, they can sprint from you from behind, and that can ruin your whole push right there.
Yes, a very nice delayed double. One pick with the main weapon, one pick with the missiles. Out of this respawn Punisher Bamboozler here. An interesting pick ability-wise, but if they are able to get those kills, it just means that it's going to take that much more time for Arctic Moon to respawn and get back in the game. But speaking of being in the game, Arctic Moon has eaten through their penalty, and so they are quickly ticking down their timer already in the low 30s. So when we are now going into the second half of this match, and things, I was about to say, you know, things are not looking great for 100% Sunshine, but just then, a full wipe on the side of Arctic Moon allows 100% Sunshine to take the positions they need. This Bamboozler up here on the spinner, firing down, putting Ink in the pit, and also the Nautilus up there as well. And so they have also gone through their penalty, and they are now ticking down their timer very quickly.
Yes, sir. They're really just running through it. I mean, right now they only have about only a few counters left, in fact, to take the lead. As they do take the lead right now, they do have one down instead of Arctic Moon, which means it's just getting harder and harder for Arctic Moon to actually get back in and try and take back the zone.
Yes, with this Junior here just inking over anything that Arctic Moon puts on the zone, this is looking like it's going to be a knockout or close to one, but as I say that, Commentators' curse is really catching up with me today. Arctic Moon does take the zone back, 100% Sunshine goes, I believe, delayed 3 down, and could be possibly delayed wipe, I'm not completely sure. But we do see Twig here pushing up with the 52 gal. That K52 did get a painting buff recently, so can put out even more Booyah bombs than before. Sharking here, looking to get those picks on people dropping, and Arctic Moon has no more penalty, so 100% Sunshine really just has one chance to get back into mid, as they are 1 down, and it looks like this is going to go in favor of Arctic Moon here.
Yes, for sure. I mean, right now we just saw a knockout from the side of Arctic Moon. Like, for a second I was like, okay, maybe Arctic Moon, maybe not Arctic Moon.
Yes.
And then we just see, okay, they're locked out. It's Surgeon, that's partly when they just come back. Like, Arctic Moon really, again, like we were saying before, does not take a no for an answer, like, at all.
Yes. And pushing back from the other team being in the single digits that close to knocking out is no small feat. Great job to Arctic Moon for taking that game back. We are now moving into Rainmaker on Anchovy Games, which I believe we saw this map mode combination earlier in the groups stage. So this should be interesting to see again.
Yes, but keep in mind that was the match where they almost got the knockout within the opening push that they had, which means that it's really just like who's gonna get the first push, because I mean we know that that's possible for them to get a first push and keep it there. It's also possible for them to just lose the lead. So you never know what could happen, especially on Rainmaker.
Yes. It was the 19-29 match that we saw. That was rather close, so I do hope that we will see something else of that caliber. Rainmaker matches have the potential to be that high scoring and that tense if both teams get the picks they need and are able to capitalize off of it. But at the end of the day, only one team can walk out victorious, and this set is currently 1-1. So we are basically now in a best of 3, and this is single elimination, so whichever team loses this set is out.
Yeah, so we gotta, remember that, and like at the same time, it's a best of 5, technically, which means that currently we are going to be seeing a game 4, but enough about game 4. We gotta get into this game 3 match. Right now we are currently seeing Junior being put out from the side of Arctic Moon again. We see not being put out once again. We see a C-Jet. I don't think that was put out last game, but it's a C-Jet. You got race fan. You know, it's very they're pretty important. And then we see the Gal being put out side of Arctic Moon.
Oh yes, race spam from the C-Jet. So nice in Rainmaker to be able to just shut down a push in the blink of an eye with a well-aimed ray. And the same, although we do see rather similar comps, you know, same 52, same try, same Nautiluses from both sides. So we are just constantly seeing those not v-not face-offs. And right now, 100% Sunshine with the early push, already getting it down to the 50s and possibly more if this try is able to put out that the ink they need. They get it all the way down to 26, which is no small feat for the first minute of a game. And they even get the pop, but here comes the ray from the C-Jet. They do manage to somehow sneak past all of that and pick it up, sneak it all the way down to 10, but they are now 3 down with the not being the only one remaining. So Arctic Moon is going to be able to come out into mid. And you know, I was just about to count the not out, but they got that nice double and shut down the push, gave Arctic Moon is the 1-3 down, and that double out of Madness is exactly what their team needed to be able to come out and take the Rainmaker away from that corner that they were trapped in.
Yes, that seems exactly what Arctic Moon needed to try and make sure that they don't get the knockout here. But you know, they were taking the stupid route, as some would call it. So you know. It's kind of coming from them, but yeah, we do see a GJ Ray being pulled out, which will shut down that Rainmaker. There is a set of 100% Sunshine, 3 down on a set of 100% Sunshine, and then there is a camp currently, meaning that no, that's actually a cancel, meaning that they will be pushing up right now and possibly getting close to that lead. If they do push up for it.
This K-Gal is getting such nice picks, and yep, the normal route, the fan route. Arctic Moon looking to take it up there, but we do have that bamboo on the flat, putting on the pressure with their laser, their missiles, and it actually looks like the Rainmaker is backing up here and trying an alternative route. Not quite what I was expecting, but whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you. But out comes the Inkjet from Madness, and it does get cancelled. That would have been such a nice pick to get, but unfortunately is not able to land it. The Rainmaker is killed shortly after by the Tri-Slosher, I believe, who is taken out, and it's just kill after kill. Just people getting taken out left and right here. And so now we see 100% Sunshine is picking up the Rainmaker, looking for another push. We have this bamboo, applying pressure on the flat, doing exactly what they need to do, but another ray coming out of the C-Jet to shut that push down. This C-Jet is timing their rays nicely. They have been able to just, well, nicely except for the 1 push, or 2 pushes, that got Arctic Moon, not Arctic Moon, 100% Sunshine to 10. But other than that, they've been timing their rays quite nicely. And so now we are seeing a push out of Arctic Moon, and they almost take the lead, 14 points off, yeah, 24, but they do get the pick, and so they are looking to take this lead, get it down another 4 points, and right now it is so tense. We have Madness using the propeller to try and get some other sort of leverage, and they are killed yet again. 1 point away. We are 11 to 10 now, and it looks like that Rainmaker is going to be reset. And so Arctic Moon just a hair away from taking that lead, but not able to. We are going into the last minute of our match, and Arctic Moon, with this ray, is going to look for another push to get this win. But will they be able to? They are taken out again, and this tension is just running so high here. We have the C-Jet on the fan, just looking for any pick that they can get, but being threatened by the Bamboozler here. And this Rainmaker being picked up by 100% Sunshine is now going to be taken out on those fans that we mentioned earlier. And it looks like they are just going to camp it here and guarantee themselves the win, because, you know, Arctic Moon is not in a position to kill a Rainmaker here, and so if they are just able to keep it here and stay alive, they are going to win this game, and it looks like exactly what's going to happen. By just 1 point, a win for 100% Sunshine. Such a close match.
Yes, and speaking of that 1 point, they were also, I think, about 3 points off from actually blowing up with Rainmaker,
Yes.
which would not have been a good thing if they were to have blown up, because I believe, well, would it have been an overtime then?
Yes, that would have begun overtime.
Okay, then yeah, that would have been
I have seen it happen. I have lost matches because of that. And
Oh,
yes,
no.
that was extremely close. So, cutting it close in both regards. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. I mean, either way, it's a win. You can't really get mad at it.
and quite a close cut win it was there. We are now heading into our game 4, our guaranteed game 4, as you said. It is set point for 100% Sunshine. If they win this, they get to continue and they knock Arctic Moon out. We are on Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit. This is a mode that I have heard very mixed opinions about. What do you think about it?
See, I think it's a fine map mode combo. Normally, but the thing is that it's so favored to raise, so if you got a C-Jet, or just any weapon that can get raised quickly, then you got a big advantage against the other team just by the starting hand, just by seeing your weapon. Because, it's the stage, even though it's Clam Blitz isn't really that favored towards Stingrays typically, it's favored here just because of the fact that it's Piranha Pit. You go to your basket, you have the ability to raid the other basket pretty clearly. So, and you have this pretty wide view of mid too, which just makes it even easier. It's overall just a pretty the map just favors Ray in general.
Yeah, as someone with Seajet in my weapon pool, although I don't usually play Seajet for Clan Blitz, Piranha Pit is probably one of the maps where I would pick it up, just because of that Ray favoring that you said, and that rather clear line of sight that you do have just because of the linear structure of the map. We did see a Seajet with some very nicely timed rays last game on Rainmaker, so I do expect that to be coming out, but as we are loading to the match, we are going to see, and yes, that is the same Seajet. An ink brush, actually. I switched to an ink brush Nouveau, so that is the Mines Baller one, I believe. That should be interesting to see how that plays out, because, everybody knows the solo brush in Clam Blitz. They run around, they have their clams, they make a power, they run up to your basket, and bam, your basket's broken in the blink of an eye.
Given if they aren't, if they don't just, run in every 2 seconds, but thankfully, 100% Sunshine, thankfully it's not the team that just goes willy-nilly into everything by themselves. Which means that, currently they were not able to, really defend themselves well, because currently, Arctic Moon was able to get some cams in. They currently are sitting at a 56 push, which isn't too bad for an opening push, especially, in only a minute, which, but the thing is that, Clam Blitz, as they do get in a fall right now, this is really anyone's game right now. I mean, given it is only 4 minutes from the fall.
Yeah, we did see, however, the reason that this push on the side of 100% Sunshine is happening is because Arctic Moon was wiped after that first push, and so 100% Sunshine is looking to capitalize. They did capitalize on that, I should say, and they are able to get that power in and take the lead, so it is now 36 to 56. 3 down on the side of 100% Sunshine with that Nautilus, the last one standing. And as the members of Arctic Moon are respawning, they're looking to take back mid. The Nautilus does manage to take out the 96 gal, which is a great pick on their side, delays Arctic Moon from coming back into mid and gives time for their teammates to come back. It's Nautilus here with 8 clams so that their position isn't revealed, but it looks like they are forced to not necessarily jump back, they do jump to a safe teammate, so they save those 8 clams. And right now, clam counts are also rather even, 22 to 17. But Arctic Moon with 2 power clams, so they are setting up for another push here with the Booyah Bomb coming out. And they do manage to get it in from the side, this Siege here. So it is now 56 still, because they have that 22 penalty down to 2 penalty now. Brush able to take out the Siege, good for them. And so it looks like that push ends there with no ability to follow up on that one clam that was thrown in.
Yeah, but I mean, which isn't really a good to be sitting at. I mean, especially for if you're just trying to push up. one clam, that isn't really going to be helpful for you later on. I'm going to say no. But at the same time, like, that may just be what you need, because, like, for the opposite team, that's actually good for you, because they give you free pity, It's just like, it does do more harm than good, but they do have 11 currently left, and they were able to get them from the clam, from the penalty there, which means that they will be able to take the lead here, but it may not be able to get much more of a push, because there is only, I believe it's Twig alive right now, so.
Yes, we are 15 to 36 in the latter half of our match with less than 2 minutes left. And look at the clam counts right now, 26 to 1. So 100% Sunshine definitely setting up for their next push. They have the baller on the side of the Ink Brush, and 2 down on the side of Arctic Moon, which is exactly what they need to just get in there, throw in all those clams that they need to hopefully take the lead. But they do not have any clams on them right now, sitting 15 to 25, so will it be enough? Will it be able to extend this to take the lead? And it looks like they are not able to do it. A very nice counter push, but unfortunately not able to alleviate the damage done by that 15 push. We now sit 50 to 22 with, again, Twig the only one alive on the side of Arctic Moon. And neither team has a power right now, although we are heading into 1 minute left, and this has been a very high scoring game. Arctic Moon is looking to defend this and force a game 5, whereas 100% Sunshine, if they are able to make one last push, but out comes the ray from the Sea Jet, and that Sea Jet can see exactly where the power clam carriers are to take them out.
Yes, and speaking of which, I believe the bamboo. Yes, the bamboo. In fact, was able to take out that ball carrier from the side of Arctic Moon, which just gives them more of an advantage here to try and hopefully try and get some progress on the board here. But the knock goes down to 100% Sunshine. Right now, things are just going very slim, and like there is 3 down instead of 100% Sunshine, and there is only a few seconds left. Things are looking not too well for 100% Sunshine.
It's okay. I think they lost both their powers, actually, and they need a power to force overtime, but with only 3 seconds left, they really don't have enough time to gather enough clams to get that power clam that they need to make the game force overtime. And so that is going to be a game in the favor of Arctic Moon, and this set is going to be going to a game 5.
Which, game 5, that just shows how, we're already up into a set, like this quote-unquote says. Close set, which just makes this game 5 even more tense. Like, things going up before this were very, all over the place, but now it's just even more, things have been multiplied by 5. So, it just makes everything, all over the place. Like, you don't know what's going to be happening until there's only, a few seconds left, because of how Splatoon is, and, we were talking about, way earlier in the beginning of the stream, it's not over until it's over, meaning that you do not know anything until there is, 5 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and even then, with the addition of overtime, you might still not know. It is Judd, at the end of the day, that determines the result of a match. So, we are going to be heading into our Game 5 of this very close set between Arctic Moon and 100% Sunshine on tower control on the reef. And is it just me, or did we see this earlier in the set, or not in the set, in this tournament, or am I projecting from previous tournaments?
You are not exactly projecting.
Oh, was it like a different mode?
Yeah, it's a different note. I believe it was Splatoons and the.
Oh yes, I recall now. Well, the reef. We have this double layer pretty much with the tower starting out underneath the bridge, actually. So control of the bridge is important, but you also have to get underneath the bridge. You gotta kind of divvy up your resources maybe and be able to have both parts. Because we saw in the zones game, we saw that X-Blosher just position on top of the bridge and shoot down onto the zones, and it's similar in tower control. If you let the other team take that bridge, they are just going to fire onto the tower from that high vantage point, and they are just going to shut down your push. But here we are loading into our Game 5 of this set. looks like Arctic Moon is going back to the double Splatling comp that we originally saw with Dark on the Sidra, so that's going to be double armor with the Junior and the Sidra for them.
Yeah, right now we are seeing the Hydra from the side of Arctic Moon. They are approaching the bridge, which if you have Hydra and you get on bridge, that's a very, very important part of the game because of the fact of how far the Hydra reaches and just how pushed up the bridge is. Like, that is the most important part you need to have on Reef. The bridge, like earlier, it is mid, and mid is the thing that you can't.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see, though, although Arctic Moon did make a push there and took an early lead, they did eventually go 3 down, and so 100% Sunshine immediately rebounded from that. Now they are in the lead. They have already gotten past the first checkpoint. They are rapidly approaching the second. Arctic Moon does get a pick. That KCal does get a double, actually. I might be seeing these, not sure if it's a double or triple, but either way, 100% China is now 3 down, and that push stops. 59 to 89 right now as we are in the first minute and 30 seconds of this match. Rather low scoring, but 100% Sunshine did get past that first checkpoint, which is very important. It's going to make their future pushes a lot easier. Now we see Arctic Moon also getting past that first checkpoint, looking to take the lead, looking to put some more pressure on 100% Sunshine. You know, you can't be completely sleepy here, and the Inkjet Direct does knock the Junior off the tower, but they are just rapidly getting back on. You see, just relatively even here, but actually tower gets swarmed by members of 100% Sunshine. Arctic Moon now 3 down with the Hydra, the only one standing, and that push ends at 42, so they just touched the second checkpoint, not able to get any points on it.
Yes, I mean, just even touching that second checkpoint is important. Like, the more progress you get, that helps you out in the end. I mean, that's basically what determines the game. It's just, you gotta work on that objective, and if you... I mean, right now, in this point in the game, we are about halfway through the game. You know, like, it just... yeah, I mean, that's a really good point to be standing at, but right now, 100% Sunshine needs to push up because, you know, they only have only a few more push opportunities left. There is only 3 left. That's actually going to be a weapon instead of 100% Sunshine, meaning that right now, it's Arctic Moon is going to be pushing up, which, again, makes it even harder for Sunshine.
Yes, Arctic Moon, with that, able to just move smoothly through where that first checkpoint once was, already at the second checkpoint, looking to complete it as well, and it looks like they are going to be able to. That tower is just completely yellow, and right now 100% Sunshine struggling to get back in as that Inkjet reaching to those positions that you might not already have access to, and this is looking to be a knockout, and yes, it is. Arctic Moon knocks out Game 5 against 100% Sunshine to take the set 3-2.
Yes, and I mean, just getting to a Game 5 itself, even if it's a knockout for Game 5, it's still a Game 5, you know? Like, it doesn't really take away from the fact that it's like I said before, it's a Game 5. It's really just, you know, like, tension high, and I mean, 100% Sunshine definitely did really well that game. I will give them that. They tried to do their best, but sadly, Arctic Moon was able to get a knockout on them in Tower Control Reef, which means that they will take the set and be moving on in the bracket, and Sunshine will sadly be eliminated.
Yes, due to this being single elimination, 100% Sunshine is now out of the tournament, but still an amazing set to watch and to talk about. I really enjoyed commentating this.
Yes, that was a really fun to commentate with. I mean, that was really cool, and not to mention the round before, that was really cool too. And just like, you know, this whole tournament so far has been really fun to commentate, but sadly me and Kedar will have to be stepping off and passing our mics down to the other commentators that you'll be seeing in the next few minutes on round 2. So, Kedar, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter at Cater_, and yeah, that's pretty much the social media that I use the most. How about you?
People can find me over at @double_bandkid. That's 12_bandkid. Yes, 2. And then you can find
Two
me over there.
underscores. Wow.
Yes, got to be a little, out there. But yes, that's really it for now. But yeah, that will be it
Yep.
from me and Kedar. We will see you all later.
Yep, we will be back. Well, the stream will be back in a few minutes with, I believe, Popgun and Bash. 2 very cool commentators, and I am looking forward to seeing them commentate. Thank you all for coming out. I had a blast commentating this with Bandkid, and I hope you all have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
Welcome back, Twitch. We got more Splatoon on Nintendo Switch. This is, once again, Swimmer Sync. There's been 20 of these? Wow, time flies. We've come a long way. Anyways, you already know who it is, and if you don't, it's your boy Bash. I'm here with Popgun, and we have got round 2 of bracket, Universal versus Zeitgeist. Popgun, what can you tell me about these squads?
Among Us. Oh, I mean,
shout out to Slimy.
Yeah, there's some. Let's see. I don't know too much personally about either one of these teams. Universal is a team I've been wanting to keep an eye on because I know Bishop has recently joined this team, and I see they've been popping off. Zeitgeist is. I'm assuming that is how that is pronounced. Some of these players look familiar. Villy, Ree, and I believe that's Maya as well. So we'll figure out about these teams as we go on. But I do know Universal at least is a somewhat established team and has been popping off recently. So I would assume this is one of their better placements in SOS up to this point as well. At least top 4 of the top bracket.
Well, we'll see how high they can go. First map is Splat Zones on Mako Mart. Pretty good neutral ground. Seems like a good place to see what kind of play styles both of these teams bring out. What do you want to see this first map?
I just want to see an even contested match is all I want to see in this first one. Universal coming in here as the 7 seed, Zeiss coming in here as the 3rd. So just by seeding wise, you would think they're pretty even as we see a roller coming out for Maya. I believe that is a hero. Yes. So, and a paint heavy comp to kind of complement that roller as well as we see a brush coming out on the side of Universal.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of everything. We've got a little bit of a salad mix in both squads, which is appropriate given that we are fighting in a supermarket. The Zeitgeist seems to have gotten the upper hand pretty early. They're winning some engagements. Ooh, almost got taken out there, but yeah, no, Universal's going to have to do a lot better than that if they want to get any more ground.
Yeah, it looks like Maya's trying to find a few windows to kind of sneak up there and do some Sharky roller shenanigans there, but Doormat doing a good job of at least keeping the roller honest, making sure there's yellow paint that's not really going, making sure the purple paint doesn't get too far into their base, but 2 players now going down. Make that 3. Doormat's going to have to jump out as they do just that. So here we go, Zeitgeist with their first opportunity to, well, no, they've been holding on to the zone here. This is an opportunity to do some serious damage, if not create a KO.
Yes, Zeitgeist has coverage like Horizon right now. You'd love to see it. They've just got really good map vision. They've been able to anticipate every tactic Universal's been going for and answer accordingly with very good engagements. That one being an exception, even though it was still a grade. As we can see, Universal's trying to pull out specials, but they can't really get anything through, and it's going to be a knockout. We can call that express checkout. Zeitgeist used their gift card, and we're moving on the map too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said I did want to see. It was a quick knockout and something more competitive. But you know what? Zeitgeist doesn't care. They'll take the win that way. And, you know, as we see, look at the KAs there, obviously, Universal just kind of struggled to get their footing, get their sea legs under them for that match. But, you know, that's not always an indicator that this set's going to be one-sided. All it takes, especially in a map like Rainmaker that's coming up, all it takes is just a good 10 seconds, and Universal can get right back into the set.
And speaking of sea legs, it's on Mana Maria. Well, this and Black Belly Skate Park, these are the 2 maps on Rainmaker where it can either be drawn out like a history book or it can be just like over in a snap. So I'm really hoping Universal can get their stuff together when it comes to their approaches and when it comes to knocking the Zeitgeist off their heels, but I don't know. If they can't do that, Zeitgeist might just win the match in like 5 seconds.
Well, yeah, Rainmaker do be like that, I guess. But, you know, it's again, if you're Universal, you're kind of used to playing in matches like this, or this is like the matches that we're going to be expecting Universal to be playing in as they continue to climb the competitive ladder here. But yeah, it'll be good to see if they can bounce back from that kind of loss where really only one player got a kill, and it was basically Zeitgeist game from start to finish there.
Yeah. Regarding comps, I'm feeling like Universal might do something that's a little bit more direct, more of a rushdown style, because we saw them charging forward over in Mako Mart. And I don't really see too many places to sneak around in Mana Maria, so I'm guessing if we can't catch them by surprise, maybe Universal's thinking we'll overwhelm them.
Right, there's only like one. Well, I guess you could go through like either the cut on the left side or the more awkward wall on the right side. But yeah, it's a little bit. As long as you just kind of check your map there, you can kind of be aware of what's going on. And the brush is coming back out, but this time it is an octo brush. Something you don't really see every day instead of the ink brush. The roller, still, once again, Zeitgeist comp really has, it's short range, but it has a lot of paint to kind of complement that roller, who's going to want to be doing a lot of sharking and pushing up with that curling bomb.
Indeed. The Octo Brush, it's a choice that I see in some scrims, but it's not exactly a common choice yet. We'll see if that increased spread helps out this Universal player when it comes to pushing back enemies. So far, nobody's really approaching the Rainmaker. We're just having a standoff right here. Both teams want to make sure that the situation is clear before they push, but it looks like Zeitgeist is getting ready to push the Rainmaker, as it looks like they got a half wipe, and they're getting a Stingray out to provide some offensive defense, or is it defensive offense actually? And they've pushed pretty far, already down to 35.
Yeah, dropping down. Actually, no, they didn't like technically drop down there, but they got a huge chunk of the map control. Oh, actually, no, this is the yellow team. This is Universal playing up defense, so that will end the push. You know, a good opening push, but 35 points remaining. Basically, you just got to get the Rainmaker down into the enemy pit, and that should be enough to get the lead back for Universal if they find a way to do that. But right now, there's so much purple in mid here. Taking down that Inkjet's going to help out a lot. Universal's main goal right now is just getting back map control so they can get something started with that.
Yeah, dropping down as far as they did, Zeitgeist really could just play defensively until the end of the match, even though it's 3 minutes. Provided they continue to do what they've been doing. They really could just exhaust Universal and do that, but of course, with this being a tournament with more rounds, they gotta be sure they don't exhaust themselves. But yeah, they'll probably want to go for the KO because that's a lot quicker. But they gotta be careful because Universal is gonna push, and they get 58 points on the board, but that quick response with the Stingray, they're having some lightning fast conversation, and it looks like Zeitgeist is winning the argument.
Yeah, that push was a little rushed. I mean, as we look at Universal's comp, you can see they have like basically 3 or 4 like Slayer weapons there, considering how you identify an N-Zap. But a very aggressive comp for Universal, and it seemed like they were moving just a little too quickly, deciding to move with the Rainmaker instead of just being a little bit patient, seeing if somebody can get a few more picks there. And just that kind of rush ultimately led to the shutdown of their push there. But Rainmaker resetting, and the map seems to be kind of looking a little bit yellow right now. But still, once again, if Universal can't find a way to like combine with each other and start getting some more picks with all this aggression that they got, this map control's not really going to do much.
Yeah, like you said, you can't just rush into it. You can play fast, but you still got to play smart. All right, it looks like Universal's starting to win some more engagements. Bishop's out here with the baller, doesn't really do anything. I'm not sure why they popped it right away, but Zeitgeist is bouncing back. The poison ink bomb has been doing wonders, and that charger, almost counter sniping. I reckon they hit something there. But yeah, that perch is going to be really helpful if they decide to push more alongside the left wing.
Well, they popped that baller right there to try to create some plays there, give themselves a little bit of space, and it looks like they're going to try to do that again. They do have some specials to work with. They do have Hammer online. Unfortunately, Bishop does go down there and make that 2 players, make that 3. The Octobrush, the last one alive, can take down this Rainmaker. It gets wiped in the process. And Billy, the last player left alive here. So this is an opportunity to add to their lead. And honestly, even though this push might be ending here, adding their lead to 27 is pretty significant, because now if you're Universal, you can't just grab the Rainmaker and drop it down. You have to actually find a little bit of ink and swim with it as well. So that lead, even though it didn't lead to a KO, can be pretty critical at the end of this game here, depending on what Universal does down the stretch.
Indeed. Yeah, no, this is nervous time for Universal. There's only like 32 seconds left on the clock. They really got to get moving. Of course, they still have to move smart, but they got to get their shots off, and they got to clear a path as soon as possible. Still holding on to the Rainmaker, but still hanging back. I mean, they don't have a time limit on them anymore because it's like nearing the end of the match, but eventually Zeitgeist is going to come on over and give them a hard time. So you really have to ask yourself, when are they going to move? They decide to reset the Rainmaker. They got to pop that thing as soon as they can. Nah, they couldn't even pick it up. They almost picked it up in time, but nah. Map 2 goes to Zeitgeist.
And you know, Devlin's, I like the switch in strategy here. You see Bishop came in, so that means they took their charger player out. So I like the fact that they went with more aggression, but if you look at the KAs, the extra aggression didn't really result in a whole lot more kills. Most of their kills kind of came on shutting down the pushes that Zeitgeist was throwing at them. So I like the switch in strategy for Universal there for the different mode, but I guess now, what do they have in store for this next mode now that they have to win, or they're going to be moving on to the third place match against a team that just seems to be playing really well right now? Zeitgeist, you know, when you don't get a KO in Rainmaker, what do you kind of see? What do you kind of look at to see if you had a productive game? And that's if you get multiple pushes that go deep instead of just one push that wins the game and you hold on to it. No, they got into the enemy base deep with the Rainmaker about 2 or 3 times. So that means Zeitgeist was able to kind of take control of the game for the entire 5 minutes instead of just getting one push and then turtling up for the whole time.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But let's move on to the next map. We've got Clam Blitz on Humpback Pump Track. Again, more neutral ground, sort of a hill in the center for a lot of close range engagement, a lot of sniping as well. I feel like Universal has the right idea with having more aggressive setups, but again, they're going to need to shake things up. They're going to need a clear strategy, and they're going to need to just pick up the clams as soon as they can and not let Zeitgeist get any momentum, or they're just going to have a hard time.
And it looks like they're staying with the same lineup. Bishop still in there with that Crapid Blaster, with the roller, and still, you know, Sail the same kind of aggression. Still the Ink Brush, Junior instead of the End Zap. So you know, I like the fact here that they're going out with this more aggressive comp. The question is just going to be, can they keep the map control in their favor so that the roller doesn't have room to work with, as we see them already starting to push up, taking down Bishop and another player as well, Maya, pushing deep into the enemy base. And yeah, if you're Universal, this is not what you want to see.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, they're struggling again. Zeitgeist is continuing to just paint everything purple, win every engagement possible. Oh no, we see it. We see a double from Archer. There we go. They're starting to get their sea legs, and they've got 10 clams in total. They could build a power clam, and Zeitgeist just lost theirs. But yeah, they're gonna be careful about it. They're gonna wait out the bomb rush. We got a bomb kill over there. Very well made suction bomb by Archer, followed by some Tenna missiles. Archer is just putting it on right now.
Yeah, if you're Universal, this is your window to get some damage done. Very nice shot there by Rui, I believe is how that is pronounced, taking down the player on the elbow, but one more player going down for the side of Zeitgeist. You see Rui's just trying to making sure nobody comes around that flank, but while they're watching that side, a few of their other players are dying in mid. So once again, Universal, they've had map control, they've had control of mid for essentially the last, well, basically this entire game so far, but they haven't really found that right window to kind of slip in and get that power clamp in there. The roller does go down, and Bishop does have a baller to work with, as well as Ink Jets going out with this armor as well, and still, they still feel just a little bit of hesitation going in there. Now finally, iCarly finds a way to get in there, does pop the basket,
breaking the barrier.
Loses 2-3 players in the process.
More clams thrown in, and Universal puts on the first points on the board. Way to make a great first impression, iCarly. Anyways, Vilnia has armor charged up, and they're just waiting to pop it right now. They've got enough to make a power clam. It looks like they're just going to try to coordinate a push, make sure they've got enough clams in reserve to increase their lead as much as possible. They're just waiting for the right moment, as they should. They've got half of the team cleared, but they don't really know where everyone else is. So they're just being patient.
Yeah, that was the first time this is the first time, basically all game, that Zeitgeist has control of mid. They basically were kind of forced into their base to play defense for the first half of the game. But now that Universal got that one push off, it seems like the role has been reversed. If Bishop can find a way to get a pick here going around the left side, make that 3 players going down now for the side of Zeitgeist. And now the map immediately switching back over. Rui kind of forced into this position as Bishop makes sure they are not comfortable, gets a pick on the Charger, and does have a baller to work with. Now it's just a question of, can they add on to their lead, and it looks like they will.
Yes, Bishop's blaster has been going to work. When you see Bishop, you better start praying, that's all I'm saying. Anyways, 52 points now, extending their lead to almost half left needed to get the KO. But, of course, Zeitgeist isn't going to take it lying down. They're about to regain control of mid. I think they already have control. Rui about to perch up, try to take some pot shots at the various members of Universal. Instead, going for a bomb rush. Going to try to ink the area with more purple, but, ooh, the missiles.
Universal's been doing a really good job of dealing with that roller. It looks like Zeitgeist wants to start everything through the roller, but they've been Universal been finding a way to shut them down first, and that's just been kind of leading to this domino effect of another player dying, another player being forced to jump out. As the roller finally lands a splashdown right there with the help of Rui on the Splat Charger. That will give this 2v1. They should find a way to kill that blaster on the right side, and it looks like they do. So map control going back to Zeitgeist, but once again, can they shut down the roller before they get in too much of a position? And what a flank there by the brush, even though they get taken down.
Yeah, Zeitgeist is going to need to try something else if they are going to put any points on the board this match, because Universal is just blowing through that roller, and they're doing some ridiculous special play combined with pressure from that blaster. Zeitgeist has just not been able to score, and that might just cost them the game. We see a power clamp still in play, but oh my goodness, Universal scores once again, following up the initial touchdown by iCarly. Universal's going to be eating some spaghetti tacos tonight.
That's a good win by Universal, and the reason they got that win is because they were so patient. Once again, they had map control for such a long portion of that game, but they didn't try to rush in like they did with Rainmaker. They were patient. They waited until just the right opportunity, and while they were waiting, they didn't surrender any ground. So they got, they didn't get a lot of points out of their pushes, but they were able to bleed off so much time with their pushes that they was able to give them enough time on the back end to come back in, get a defense, find the roller, kill the roller, and just roll from there. So a good bounce back from Universal, and maybe they can have a little bit of momentum here heading into Game 4, Tower Control at Art Academy.
100%. They stayed playing fast, but now they've been playing smart. They've been doing all of the correct rushes. That roller's been putting in work, and that blaster has been countering everything that Zeitgeist has been throwing at them. Tower control on Inkblot, I feel like, is a good map mode combo for all those different sorts of strategies. We don't know if Zeitgeist will change it up or not, but if Universal is just able to stay patient, but also stay brave on the attack, they might just get the reverse 30.
Well, if you're Zeitgeist, you don't really need to change things up. What you've been doing has been working this set. It was just that last game just didn't really go their way. But I think we're still going to see the that roller and then a lot of paint to go with the roller to make sure that they have room to work with. And obviously, Rui on that Charger has been spectacular so far in the set.
Oh, of course. So you think this will be more one-sided? I mean, this will be more even?
Oh, I'm not guaranteeing anything like that. I'm just saying I don't think Zeitgeist is going to switch up their comp too much. We don't really have like a visual of the waiting or like the weapon select, so I don't know. It's Universal who has the option to like sub players out and switch up their comp that way, but until we see them ready up, we're not really going to know what they're capable of here.
I feel that. Yeah. I guess that's what we're waiting for right now. Oh, not anymore. Yeah, let's see what these teams come out with. Let's see who changes what up, and let's see if we can't have ourselves a fun match.
And it looks like
Bishop.
Bishop did get subbed out there for Universal, and they're coming back in with Doormat, who was the Charger in Game 1, but is coming out with the Nautilus here. So, they lose their Blaster, but they still keep this aggression. Still a very, very Slayer-ish heavy comp. And right away, they get a pick on the roller. This could be big.
Yeah. I think the Nautilus is a good choice. I mean, they could always, for defense, they could always have the Nautilus ride the tower as sentry. A lot of different things can be made, but right now, iCarly leading to push once again. And just the two Inkjets absolutely going ham. Just destroying everything. Keeping the tower in play as Universal passes through checkpoint 1. Vilnia's going to try to sneak by, just waiting for their moment. Rui keeping Overwatch, but not quite getting their shots off. The Nautilus is actually pushing. Wow, Universal's putting in work.
Well, I was about to say, the only problem with those two Inkjets is that it kind of delayed their opportunity to push up that snipe and get into position that they needed to get to, but it ultimately looks like Zeitgeist gave them the time they needed after those Inkjets landed anyway, so they're able to clear that second checkpoint, which is huge. Trades come down here as they approach the third and final checkpoint. It is a 2v3. Make that a 2v2 down as the roller is just smacking people down at the tower. Players still jumping in for Universal, and it looks like... Well, no, this push is not done. Universal is still coming in here, still keeping up the aggression, and it looks like they finally got chased out there. But what a minute and a half for Universal. A very strong showing for them.
Yeah, they were passing the tower around like hot potato for a moment there, but now it's going back around, and now Zeitgeist might be looking to push. But Universal spreading out. That Nautilus is counter-sniping a little bit, getting some good picks, and... yeah, no, but the tower's still in play. But even so, Universal, with only 20 points left to go, all the way through checkpoint 3, they've gotten a lot of momentum. They really picked themselves back up.
Yeah, and they have a lot of map control here. They have some special workers, and then a roller just jumps out of the trees and smacks you right in the face. But two players going down for Zeitgeist. So if you're Universal here, we're just now crossing the halfway point, so there's still a lot of time left in this game. But clock is really the biggest enemy right now for Universal, and it's just going to come down to, can they get these trades to keep the clock running? This is not what they want to see. They do not want to see two players going down, but Billy now riding the tower. If you're Zeitgeist and you're thinking, how do we get back into this game? It's going to be one checkpoint at a time, and clearing this first checkpoint right here is huge, and now two more players going down. Zeitgeist in a really good position to clear the second checkpoint as well.
Yeah, I like the armor here. A little bit less chaotic than the double Inkjet strategy, but it gives the Zeitgeist players opportunities to position themselves and fend off against any counterattacks. This is basically just Zeitgeist going, yeah, we see you, we can do it too. And they've just taken the lead. They're on checkpoint 3. It's down by 1 point. Now the lead is increasing even further. They're already past the third checkpoint. Oh my goodness, are they going to do it? Yeah, they did it. That last armor at the end basically just secured it. Not really too much you could do about that. Good effort by Universal to try to bring it back, but ultimately, Zeitgeist turned it back around on him.
That double that happened in mid where where Zeitgeist was able to kill 2 players without losing any of their own really set up this chain reaction of Universe getting stuck in this meat grinder. 2 players going in, they die, while the other 2 players spawn. They go in and they die while the other 2 are spawning, and they just never really had an opportunity to get regrouped and reset to go back in as a team. And ultimately, that's why Zeitgeist was able to just go from 0 to 100 in one push right there. But Universal is showing a lot of fight there, going down the first 2 games, taking game 3, looked like they were going to take game 4 there. So Universal showing, after they just calmed down a little bit after that game 1, that they can hang with these guys. And we're going to see how well these Zeitgeist guys play, because they're about to take on Arctic Moon in grand finals, which should be a really nice set.
Definitely an impressive run by Universal. Once again, good stuff to Zeitgeist. It was, even though it was a shorter set than I was expecting, I still had a lot of fun watching it. But, yeah, we've got more action coming up for you shortly. But before that, we are going to take a brief break.
Well, wait. Are we really going to... Why... Here, hold on. Here's what I propose, and I'm talking out loud to the TOs. I know we're on stream right now. Why don't we just go ahead and get this next game going? Because we've been making these guys wait for a bit. Why don't we just go ahead and not make them wait and just go right on in here? And in the meantime, don't we have some promos we got to read? We could read those right now.
Sure, if you want to read them.
Let me check. Oh, and we're in a new server, so I don't know if there's any documents here. Docs, they said. While we're looking for that.
Is this Grands? I thought there was a round 3.
No, this is Grands. We came in for you and me missed round 1. So this is semifinals that we're going into here. Swim string. So yeah, while we're getting the docs up here, do you see it? It just got linked to us in the secret Discord. Welcome to the behind the scenes here at SOS, where the commentators are leaving scrims early to come to take care of this stuff. Let's I'll read a few points here. What are we talking points? IPL has opened swim or sink and testing ground staff applications. In addition, we are always looking for additions to our production and commentary teams. If you are interested in helping in those areas, please fill out the form. If you're interested in more than one area, you may fill out more. You may fill out multiple forms, and I will put this in chat right now. In other words, if you want to be a part of the stream, the staff, the production, anything, instead of complaining, why don't you join our staff and become a part of the group that gets complained on?
All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to some of the Splat players in the ANZ, as IPL is hosting Reef Rushdown on March 6th, which is our new bi-weekly tournament here at IPL, aimed at, you guessed it, the Oceania region. Every other Saturday at 1 p.m. AEDT, which converts to 9 p.m. EST, which is 6 p.m. on my side of the states, back in the Pacific. You can duke it out against other teams in a Swiss to single elimination format, and that link is going to be posted in the chat as well. Not by me, but by someone else.
There we go. Look at that. Reading, knocking out those plugs or whatever that they are. My favorite thing to do here on commentary is read off a sheet of paper. Anyways, I believe we should be getting... Word. What's the word here? Are players joining up in the lobby? I'm assuming they are, as we got the graphic up on the screen. So we're going to be giving you guys grand finals. Arctic Moon versus Zeitgeist.
We've already seen Zeitgeist. Why don't we give another introduction to Arctic Moon? We've got some familiar names in here, don't we?
Yeah, Arctic Moon needs no introduction. They're arguably a top 10 North America team right now. They're contenders of just about every SOS and testing ground tournament that they compete in here at IPL Labs. And The fact that they're here in Grand Finals is no surprise. And we'll see how well they fare with Zeitgeist, who, like you said, we just saw them play a very convincing, well, not a totally convincing, but a very nice win, nonetheless, against Universal, who is now going to be taking on Friends in the third place match. But once again, this is a best of 7. No bracket resets, no nothing that can extend this out. It is a school night. We're going to get these games in and get going.
Of course, it is single elimination. So, yeah, it is a best of 7, which means you got to win as many games as there are seasons in a year, starting with Clam Blitz on the Reap. Let's see what setups these guys come out with.
An Arctic Moon. Oh, we see
got
a
the Bamboozler.
A
Shout out to
bamboo
Bamboozler boys.
coming out from the side of Zeitgeist, so dropping the fire fin they've been using. And with Arctic Moon, of course, Dark coming out with the Hydra. As a Hydra main myself, that is no surprise. I'm always a big fan to see Dark play. But a double armor comp coming out from Zeitgeist, or from Arctic Moon. So I believe we have the colors wrong on the overlay there.
On this map mode combo, I understand the Boozla. I mean, with Clam Blitz, you're going to want to be more aggressive, and the Bamboozler lets you do that. But also, there are just so many corridors where you can engage at close range. So if you're going to bring out a charge, you might as well. Anyways, Arctic Moon busting out the Booyah Bomb, but it is narrowly dodged. Both teams just carefully planning out their attacks. Both teams have a power clam in play. Lots of clams scattered around. Arctic Moon has hoarded most of them, and it looks like they are approaching the attack zone. They've already broken the barrier, in fact.
I can't believe that Roller was able to get 2 kills right there. They were the last player left alive. They killed one, and that player ouch, like basically like, hey, there's the last guy is on my ouch, and the Roller still didn't die and still took down some other players. That's the reason why Arctic Moon only has 60 points remaining instead of a score that would have been much more damaging. So a nice play there by the Roller.
That was super sneaky, really admirable, but still, 2 power clams worth of points in. That's not bad. And it looks like Arctic Moon is about to go back in again. Coming back for seconds. They're still hungry, but Zeitgeist is saying its last call. We'll see who wins out in the end as the missiles go out. More kills are exchanged, and Zeitgeist has a power clam in play, but they're not quite ready to drive yet.
Yeah, the game's kind of neutral right now. We see some specials getting popped out here. Cool Dude getting a pick, and it looks like Arctic Moon is firing right now, trying to go in with that push, taking down the Roller this time. So this should open up the floodgates a little bit, but it looks like the Arctic Moon is just kind of struggling to get a power clam form tossed between each other. One player going down, others coming in, just throwing clams. Should be cleaned up by Zeitgeist, but damage done as they get the 33 remaining. And Cool Dude going down, but still getting a trade as well. You know, the fact that Arctic Moon was able to add to their lead there, but they shouldn't be surrendering too much ground, as all those trades kind of keep Zeitgeist pushed back and unable to advance too far, other than what Ignite is doing, obviously.
It was cool seeing them dip and dodge for sure, though. But Zeitgeist has some power clams. They're ready to drive, but they just have to choose their moment. And it looks like they've chosen their moment as they pop the armor, and they're coming in with the shooters. They're coming in with the missiles now. Have they broken the barrier? Indeed they have, and that's 2 power clams in, and they're throwing them in. Oh my goodness, they're starting to close the gap. They're really starting to close the gap as they've taken the lead as they've eliminated a lot of the members of Arctic Moon for a time, and now they only have 15 points left. Can they find any extra clams? Oh, it looks like we're going to get a flank though, but the armor means that flank wasn't too effective. They were able to get 1 more clam in, just as a little period at the end of the sentence, but it's done.
An 88-point push is that's not too bad. You know, they had 33 clams built up, but here we go. Arctic Moon with 30 clams of their own built up. They can take the lead right back right here, but they're going to need to get a few more picks to go along with it. Actually, no, they don't need to get any picks at all. In fact, they can just lose one of their players, and they just had enough clams to throw them in, and they couldn't take them out all at once. And Arctic Moon erases all their penalty points and gets the KO in a matter of seconds.
I'll blink.
What a response!
And I missed it. I need to tape my eyelids back so that doesn't happen again. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can say that was down to the wire, but they were just pushing at each other throughout the match. This is going to be a heck of a Grands to watch. Next map is going to be... Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, the reason they were able to get that comeback right there is even though Zeitgeist was able to get 88 points off of their one push, you saw they got wiped at the very end there. And that just opened up the floodgates for Arctic Moon to turn the entire map purple and soak up all their clams. And you saw they didn't even get a pick during their push. They just made the map purple, gathered up 30 clams, and just threw everything at once in the basket and didn't even fire their gun at the enemy. That's how critical... How damaging it is to get wiped while you're pushing, even though you get 88 points off of it.
Yeah, they painted so quickly. They didn't like just throw buckets of paint around. They just connected a water hose and just let all the paint fly. But anyways, we've got a map mode combo that requires a little more nuance. We've got tower control on Starfish main stage. I feel like the same comps could work, although I'm expecting both teams to bring out a little bit more range because this is a bigger map and this is tower control. But we could see some quick play here.
Well, we're not going to see the bamboo come back out. I'm assuming that was
obviously.
So there's that'll be a little bit more of the range that you're looking for there on the side of Zeitgeist. I believe that was just the Clam Blitz only thing. But for Arctic Moon, yeah, we've seen Dark come out with Hydra on this map and mode, and double NZAP actually.
Double Spotling. We've got a Hydra and a Nautilus.
Yes, but for Zeitgeist, the double NZAP, so they're going to keep paint, they're going to keep armor, and basically with the comp Zeitgeist has right here, it's all on the roller, basically. It's like, we're going to give you all the tools you need to be successful. Just go be a hero. And with the Hydra and the Nautilus, though, it's going to be difficult for Maya to do, as Maya takes care of the K-Gal anyways.
Yeah, no, Zeitgeist has obviously got the... I don't know if I want to say the more aggressive... loadout, but they do have one where they could carry momentum more. Those double NZAPs mean double armors. That, coupled with the close range and fast fire rate, means that once they get closer and closer to the objectives, they're more suited, I guess, to countering a bunch of different pushes at close range. And right as I say that, Arctic Moon wipes out both of the NZAPs. So I guess maybe they just gotta get their bearings together, maybe realign their sights. We'll see.
Yeah, and look where Arctic Moon is doing. You see they're pushing up. I was going to say they weren't overextending, but we see now Twig just going all the way around the world. They're basically just setting up to control the area at this first checkpoint here, getting it up in the snipe. That's a huge trade that is going to go in Arctic Moon's favor because it's going to keep this push going here. But now you see the players from Arctic Moon transitioning their position from how they attack checkpoint 1 to go to checkpoint 2. You saw them jumping over the bridge there, trying to get up to the plat, and it doesn't look like they were able to make that jump successfully. Dark trying to stay alive on this tower, and they clear that checkpoint 2, which is so critical. That checkpoint is so difficult to clear in that wide open area, and Arctic Moon is just adding to their lead, and I don't think they're going to get the KO right here, but this is a huge lead for them to have early on. And honestly, it might not be done. Oh, well, I say that, and then Maya just got to put their roller down and eat up everybody who jumped in there.
They tried. Gotta respect the attempt. But yeah, no, maybe it looks like the better range will be very much in the favor of Arctic Moon. But Zeitgeist is going to have another opportunity. They've got Rui keeping Overwatch, but Rui's just got to find a really good place to perch up and take Overwatch so that next time those two N-Zaps decide to go to work, they don't get snuck up on. That roller is going to try to get a bird's eye view as well. With a splashdown, doesn't get anyone, but it adds some pain.
Yeah, the problem is just everybody else died for Zeitgeist, so it was just not really much else the roller can do there. But you see, that is the strategy that that Zeitgeist is going with, just trying to get the roller into a position to where they can create some chaos and get a couple of picks and make things go there. You know, with this huge of a lead for Arctic Moon and the fact that they are continuing to push here, they're not looking to just hold on to this lead. They're trying to get the knockout, and Cool Dude taking down the player on the bats area over there is going to land away from the tower, but players jumping in. Dark just trying to avoid Rui's charger there and knock off the N-Zap that is coming up at the same time. 3 players going down for Arctic Moon, but it doesn't really matter. The fact is, they bled a lot of time off of that clock, and with HELIX getting some picks here, they might not be done.
Yeah, they are keeping the territory painted, but Zeitgeist is clapping back. We just saw that pick from the roller. Excuse me. Right now, they're just letting the tower come back around. They're not really rushing. They shouldn't really rush. They learned from the last set, watching the other team play, how bad rushing could be. But with a minute left on the clock, they do have to act somewhat fast.
Look, they don't realize Shinix is right there. Now they do, but is instead going to back off and start painting. I believe that is they're on the their own side of the map, and they kind of lured a player away from Zeitgeist there, away from mid, ultimately going down, and it looks like they will hold on to the tower there. I got a little confused where those players were, what side of the map, but regardless, a good situation here for Arctic Moon, obviously.
Yeah, very good situation. They are just getting all of their shots. Just the purple paint is just magnetically moving towards the players of Zeitgeist. It's almost just disgusting how effective they've been offensively this match. And as they pop the armor and get on the tower, they're just saying, oh no, oh yes, actually. And Arctic Moon will take map 2. I think both squads had sound ideas, but Arctic Moon just executed a heck of a lot better. They knew where to position themselves. They knew when to activate their specials. They knew how to get their shots on target, and they were just coordinated.
Yeah, it really helps when your junior pops off with 21 KAs. That's the recipe for success. And when your junior gets that many KAs, that's usually a good chunk of that is assists, which means the rest of your team is really clicking well as well. So yeah, Arctic Moon. Just once again, kind of like Rainmaker in the last set, it wasn't that they were just the best team for like 30 seconds and then held on. No, Arctic Moon was clearly in control of that entire game from start to finish there. So now Zeitgeist, once again, this isn't a best of 5, it's a best of 7, so they have a few more games to try to figure out what their strategy is going to be, how they can counter what Arctic Moon is doing to them. But if the junior just has free range to do basically whatever they want there. I mean, we saw Shinix basically going anywhere on the map, their side, their own side, whatever, basically do whatever they want, which is what Zeitgeist wants their roller to be able to do. So it seems like they're going to have to find a way to shut down Arctic Moon before they can even get their own kind of aggressive roller pushes started.
Yeah, Rainmaker on Blackbelly is going to be a heck of a map to test things out and figure things out with. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Zeitgeist puts on. Arctic Moon already has their strategy pretty clear cut. They're probably just going to keep doing what they're doing. But hopefully Zeitgeist doesn't let it get over in a flash.
Yeah, and here we go, Rainmaker. As we just wait for the teams to ready up once again. This is a best of 7. Arctic Moon currently up 2-0 We do see Dark coming to the C-Jet. No surprise there. C-Jet wins you tournaments on Rainmaker. And a K-Shot instead of the double N-Zap here. Makes sense. Missiles works out really well. But here comes the early Ray. No surprise there. We're used to seeing Rays from C-Jet coming out this early, especially on this map and mode as we wait for the first pick to come out, and we do have a bit of a trade. Make that 3 players going down for the side of zeitgeist, and Arctic Moon picking up right where they left off in the last game.
Indeed, yeah, these slight comp changes from both sides make a good amount of sense. Like, you want to keep your range, but you also want a little bit more mobility. It looked like Zeitgeist was going to be the ones to pick up the Rainmaker at first, but then Arctic Moon just swooped up, wagged their finger, and just went, nah, let us handle this. And they're already up to 21 points left. Zeitgeist is obviously going to want to do something about that, but they are going to paint and try to clear the area a little bit before they take that Rainmaker, because if they're exposed anywhere, if they get a bit lazy when it comes to surveying the area, they already know Arctic Moon will be there to just take advantage of that.
Yeah, and and once again, here we see Shinx is kind of slinking around behind everybody. Does get taken down there. Excuse me, but while they were getting into those fights, the rest of Arctic Moon kind of responding and cleaning up all of the action that Shinx wasn't able to finish there, as Dark takes a Rainmaker to kind of a cheesy place there in the attic before pushing up through the left side. This Rainmaker or Stingray is going to come out. Stingray on that side of the map, very, very deadly, but somehow the Rainmaker Dark finds a way to survive that. Players getting traded. Actually, it looks like 2 players going down for Zeitgeist. This is actually kind of an amazing push. Rui's being the last one, is being forced into an uncomfortable situation. Gets a trade!
Oh my goodness.
On the Rainmaker before dying. It basically saves the game for Zeitgeist.
Yeah, and like a lot of the Zeitgeist members are out, but yeah, no, they were able to bring that back. Arctic Moon almost planted it too. That was really dramatic. But anyways, Zeitgeist is once again painting, but no, they let the Rainmaker reset, and they're gonna give it some time before they decide to push. But Arctic Moon is just not letting them have the ground that they want, and that Stingray coming out, just deleting the Rainmaker carrier. Zeitgeist has their battle ahead of them.
It seems like every time Zeitgeist has an opportunity where they get control of mid, they just don't get the picks to follow up with it. Or if they do get a pick, it's a trade that just leads to other players going down as well. And Arctic Moon here, that is their 3rd straight deep push into this game. And once again, we talked about they're not just getting one push off and then holding on for dear life. No, they are controlling this entire game right here. So now still, Rainmaker, all it takes is a bad 10 seconds and the score gets instantly flipped. But as far as the first 3.5 minutes are concerned, Arctic Moon has just been doing whatever they want to do. And it just seems like Zeitgeist doesn't really have an answer for them just yet.
Yeah, it's really been impressive to see. They've been planting their feet, they've been prepping their specials. Every time they watched Zeitgeist try something, they just shut it down, and then in their absence, they've just navigated through the void and just learned to take advantage. That last time, they weren't really able to make a push, but the important thing is they've been making things as difficult as possible for Zeitgeist, and with 1 minute left in the map, that's really all that they need to do.
Missiles and Ray getting popped at the same time. That's a really good combination. So there might be, and they do get a pick with that. Make that 2 players going down there. But this
and the
counter
Ray
coming out. So
Arctic Moon doing it again. They won't let Zeitgeist breathe.
And that was the one window that the Zeitgeist had too. They got 2 players down, but then that Raid's coming out, Dark having the Ray right at the perfect time. But now here we go. Once again, missiles coming right back out. They're not going to have a Ray to follow it up with just yet, but they do have the Rainmaker in a position to where if they can pop it and just be a little bit more patient, they can find a way to get lead here, but they're going to need to get 2 or 3 picks right here. And this is going to be the last opportunity they have. But there's the 2 picks they need. But once again, right on cue, the last player, Dark, pops the
Stop.
Stingray and gets a double.
Dark.
It's not going to be enough to hold on to the lead, and there you go. Zeitgeist, that's what we said. Just a bad 10 seconds is all it takes to flip the score, and
Oh my
Zeitgeist,
goodness.
despite the ray from Dark, gets the win.
We thought Dark just shut it down right there, but they slithered through. It really took just waiting for the right opportunity.
And once again, Arctic Moon was in control of that game. Basically, Borderline dominated that game for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. They had 4 pushes deep into Zeitgeist's base. Zeitgeist only had 1 push the entire game, but that's just how Rainmaker works. Love it or hate it, that's just how Rainmaker works.
They just
A
kept
lovely
pushing
mode.
through. They just didn't give up. I mean, it shouldn't have worked, but I guess sometimes desperation does the deed. Anyways, Splat Zones on Humpback. That's not something that you can really do what we just saw on, but I don't know, Zeitgeist might be getting their groove in a little bit. I mean, Arctic Moon is still going to keep their feet planted. They're still going to try to trip up Zeitgeist every chance they can get. But I don't know, Zeitgeist might be feeling confident. They might be carrying that energy over.
Yeah, so much of these tournaments is momentum. And I mean, if you're Zeitgeist, you got to be feeling good about that last 10 to 15 seconds right there. But if you're Arctic Moon, you got to be thinking, we've been showing that we're the better team for the first basically 14 minutes and 50 seconds of this entire set. So Zeitgeist able to find a win here, that would be very critical for them for the rest of the set. Because they got the win there. That's going to get them hyped. They're probably really hype in VC right now, but I don't think that's enough to just completely take the wind out of Arctic Moon's sails, at least just yet.
That plus having the right mindset is a balance. You want to be confident, but you don't want to be cocky. Yes, you have a chance of winning, but remember the first 2 maps. Be sure to respect your enemy. Because if you don't respect them, you get careless. And then we see what happens when you get careless. So, yeah, just keep your eyes peeled, keep your head down, keep your spirits up, and you'll be able to put on a good battle. We see a bucket coming out. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Tri-Slosher, and that is a Booyah Bomb Dynamo coming out for the side of Arctic Moon as well. Double Booyah Bomb comp, actually. I love the mindset that Booyah Bomb works out really well, almost brokenly well on this map and mode. You basically throw it on the zone, and the zone is yours. So a double Booyah Bomb comp coming out from Arctic Moon, and no Booyah Bombs. Basically the same standard comp we've seen from Zeitgeist so far in this tournament. So Arctic Moon showing they obviously have like a different comp just for this map and mode specifically, and Zeitgeist is doing what basically got them here in all the other modes.
Dark wasting no time, saying, "Oh, you didn't like the Stingray? Here's a Booyah Bomb," and then just lobbing gobs of paint with the Dynamo. And then the rest of the squad just pushing in with their long-range kit as well, and just scrambling them a little bit. But Zeitgeist is looking ready to retake the zone, or actually take the zone for the first time. And they did, just very briefly, and they managed to slap an entire 60 penalty points onto the score of Arctic Moon, but that's not going to phase them for too long, I feel like.
Yeah, it gives them an opportunity to at least stop the bleeding, try to get control of things. But basically, Arctic Moon, with the comp they have, they just need to fire off both their Booyah Bombs, and that's going to get them control of zone back. And here you go, both Booyah Bombs coming out at the same time. They coordinate them, one on the left, one on the right. I believe one of them actually kind of fell trying to get a pick just shy of the zone, so it doesn't actually pick the zone. So there you go, Zeitgeist survives the double Booyah Bomb as Twig throws down a wall, gets a pick, but 2 players going down here. If Ignite, let's say Ignite could win that cleanly, that could kind of open up the floodgates for Zeitgeist a little bit longer, but now Arctic Moon wants to get in control, and we see Shinex here trying to get control in ledge camp with that Tri-Slosher.
That was admirable, though. Zeitgeist clearly knowing exactly where they want to position themselves in order to respond to any engagements while they're on the offensive. But defensively, they got to make sure Arctic Moon doesn't take away too many penalty points from their score. Oh my goodness, just the supplement with the Booyah Bomb and another one. And it looks like they're going to put some more points on. Yeah, no, Zeitgeist needs to come up with something a little bit more substantive when it comes to the defensive part of this match, because it looks like Arctic Moon is just about to take this one home.
Their comp was obviously they just had a completely different comp for that map and mode specifically, and Arctic Moon showing that they feel very confident on that map. That was their opening. You saw how they broke out of the lockout. They fired the Booyah Bombs at the same time, and they landed in kind of awkward spots, but even without the specials, they were still able to find a way to get back control of mid. Look at Shinex once again top fragging with that Tri-Slosher there for Arctic Moon. So yeah, this was kind of what we were talking about. Yeah, they did get a nice win in game 3, but I don't think Arctic Moon's too experienced to be just completely rattled and be like, okay, this is, what do we do now? We lost this game. No, they just bounced back. They used the comp they knew they felt comfortable with. They switched up their comp a little bit, but knew it was the right comp for this map and mode. And Zeitgeist now with their backs against the wall, as they say, with one more loss ending the tournament. It's going to have to find some answers here as we go to Clan Blitz at Inkblot Art Academy. I guess the question is going to be, are they going to go back to that bamboo that they used on the reef, or are we going to go back to just a normal charger, try to keep range, trying to keep Dark honest on that Hydra?
I mean, Inkblot does have that verticality. I mean, we could see a little bit of both. I guess it really depends on the mood of the charger player today. But yeah, just that last match, they had a specific plan and it worked dividends. Teachers, this is why, I mean, kids, this is why teachers tell you to do your homework. Anyways, that's just the standard charger. Looks like they're going for a little more range, going to keep those Splatlings honest, as you said. But with 3 players going on the offensive, on the rushdown, I mean, as much as you can rush with a carbon roller, they can still play pretty quickly.
Well,
it's just about landing that card.
Yeah, I think that's the hero roller they got coming out there.
Roller.
Whatever it is, the roller immediately goes down, but so does Dark and Twig on the side of Arctic Moon. So this just kind of leads to a stalemate here as one player sharking behind that pillow. Rui just making sure they don't try anything funny here. So yeah, both teams just going to take this opportunity to establish some map control here, see if they can get a pick or two on the flank. You see the Nautilus going around the right side there. The 2 more players that Arctic Moon going around the left. So it looks more like, even though things were neutral for a little bit, Arctic Moon is the team that's more aggressive, and Zeitgeist just kind of standing back and just trying to wait for a punch to be thrown. And it looks like Arctic Moon is more than happy to throw that punch for them.
Shinex really just did that. Shinex just really just snaked around looking for a clam, just dodging every single attempt to take Shinex out on the part of Zeitgeist. And now Arctic Moon has a power clam in play. But Zeitgeist has a couple of clams themselves. It really comes down to which team is brave enough and coordinated enough to make the first push. As we see a Booyah Bomb come out from Arctic Moon, we see some purple paint coming along, but Philly is just making sure everywhere around that area is painted. But Shinex has broken through. Dark throws in another power clam, and that's already 60 left in the blink of an eye.
Man, Dark was schmoving with that Hydra there through that enemy, just gliding, tap-shotting, very nice to see. But 2 players going down. Oh, actually, make that 3 players going down for the side of Zeitgeist. That is actually a wipe. So Arctic Moon, even though the push is done, they're not going anywhere. They're going to stay right here, build up another clam, and just keep this push going yet again. And they got some specials built up here too. One player does go down. I believe that is
the Booyah Bomb.
Yeah, and 2 players going down here on both sides, it looked like. So, okay, very nice. They didn't get through those penalty points there. So that could have been a lot worse for Zeitgeist, getting wiped and letting Arctic Moon just camp out at their goal. But no true damage done just yet. And now Arctic Moon back on the defensive.
Arctic Moon is still just asserting themselves brilliantly, though. Dark is on deck with the Power Clam, but just going to take their time, let that Splatling go to work. Going to try to avoid the charger shots. Rui has been on point, but Dark wins the engagement. Oh, but then just gets run up on.
Yeah, there was an awkward 1v1 anchor fight there because both anchors had a power claim, so they knew exactly where each other was. But here we go.
Though.
Penalty points eliminated. Ignite being the last player left alive, but not. Oh, they do have enough time to get this knockout here. Can Dark get this KO? It doesn't look like they will. But basically a wipe. And now here we go. This is what we saw in game 1. It's not a complete wipe, but it should be enough to put the map in yellow for zeitgeist, but they got a huge mountain to climb here.
Only 6 clams left, 31 penalty points. A power clam and some change could do it. Heck, if Arctic Moon is feeling themselves and they get 2 power clams, that'll spill the end. But right now it looks like Zeitgeist is just they're being patient, they're keeping the zone painted, and they're doing a good job of that. But yeah, no, Arctic Moon is just clapping back. That's what happens when you're hesitant. Like, you can play a really good defensive game, but you got to make sure you push forward eventually. Otherwise, this will happen.
Yeah, here we go. They got enough. They basically have enough clams to get the KO right here, and they're in really good position. Twig coming around, and that is going to be
There it is. 4-1. Arctic Moon takes it. The 20th edition of Swim or Sink. Double decades. Arctic Moon's got to feel happy about that one. But congrats to Zeitgeist for getting runner-up as well. They put on a good show.
Yeah, a good run for Zeitgeist, obviously, taking second place in the 20th edition of SOS. As you said there, not too shabby a result for them, but Arctic Moon just looked like the better team for all of but 10 seconds of that entire set there. Arctic Moon just looked really solid the whole time. You know, they obviously lost Game 3 in kind of a frustrating fashion, but they didn't let it get to them. They came right back in Game 4 and 5 and picked up right where they left off by controlling the match from start to finish there. So not too shabby for Arctic Moon themselves, who obviously win the tournament.
Indeed. Very, very fun stuff. I really enjoyed everything that I watched, everything that I casted. How about you?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I've always a pleasure to be on stream here at IPL and see all the great tournaments that we have to offer here. Obviously, like you said, the 20th edition of SOS. I can't believe it's been 20 tournaments of this. So
here's to 20 more.
20 more. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But anyways, we just want to thank everyone for coming on. It's been great. We had fun. I've been Bash Dash. I've been with Pop Gun. And we will see you next tournament. Peace.